Hey everyone, how's it going tonight? I'm a bit unprepared at the moment, so excuse me while I get some more stuff ready here. The main thing I'm running into right now is Steam decides it needs update, and I did not give it the time it needed. I'm just trying to get going here. What can I do now? And I can just hang it down here. I think. Nothing like what was it 4:45? Yeah, 15 minutes before I log off. There's a urgent issue that needs attention. That'll stress you out. So I'm a bit frazzled, and this is self-care. It's to make me feel better about myself. So let's just get okay. I'm not pushing situation, so grab that from all. Actually, so. Okay. Just, I need to cool down for a minute, so I do just want to sit and chat for a second. The other thing I worked on, you'll see in the other corner. So I figured out the issue that I was having with the Disco Elysium slideshow last time. Turns out when you make a slideshow, there is a this thing a bit loud on you guys won't hear that. There is a size limit. So what that means is it can only go something like 250 megabytes. Probably not even when it's like all when it's actually uncompressed that they're dealing with. And so what happened with the stuff from last week is I had hit that size limit, and it was cutting the slideshow short. But this is the other half of stuff that I've found, and we're just working off of that, working through them, giving them another turn. Looking a bit off balance and conserving it a bit more closely. That's fine. And I would have gone in for more, because the Disco Elysium art does not stop. But I'm a bit, a bit unprepared today. Didn't end up getting much more on that end. I could do it easy. It's on stuff. And yesterday was hard day of work of yard work, digging holes. And now we had a shift, so that was not fun. very bitchy today. We'll be fine once we get into this. That I want to do. I think it's this again. This is enough. Wow! I've gotten a nice commission of my OC done. Follow on Patreon. This is Ian. Is her name? DOC character, not the artist. The artist's name is Kelly B. OKBX, I think, on Twitter. And they are one of the unrepentant Usopp Nami shippers that I follow. They make some good stuff. I think when I found them on Tumblr, their blog was called Usopp's Eyelashes. Yeah, this is correct. Where were you when you realized Usopp was a transplant rape in Naruto? Where were you when you realized Usopp was a sex symbol? Internet sex symbol? That's not good. I think. We'll keep the end volume. Didn't have a lot of time to do stuff. I had enough time to throw together a slideshow and just like, yeah, let's make fun of, have fun at Andy's expense. These will all be great pictures that we were missing out on last week. Okay. As far as game recap goes, I didn't have time to make one. We're at the end of day 3 and we're about to go to sleep. That's all I've really got. I think we're trying to save up some money. We're trying to sell off some hair. We're at a hair. Or the hair shop is closed at the moment. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. This guy. Oh. Swanky jacket. Focus your form in a way to make you feel the fun and the serious. There's a really nice roomy policy. And it's checkered pattern, so our bonuses checking for what? Yeah. We need to get this boombox so we can advance the plot by listening to a tape. We also need that tape because we found this here. So this is the plot tape. This is the plot tape. We know 50 occasion person for that. And then we're going to get up and do some speed testing. Investigate that body and pass that goddamn check. It appears that my perception is taking a hit. Let's just prepare that. We can move elevators to the opposite. Interfacing all the stuff that we need to investigate a pod. Down those. Mostly glasses. Nice. Is it sounding kind of muffled, or am I just further away, or am I just talking bad? Hi, Crimson. I think there were mic settings that I hit on accident with the snowball here. That's it. Might just be the distance. I changed it from the one setting. I think these were. Where is how can yeah. Cutting in. If I just turn off that noise suppression, how's that? Is that decent? I appreciate you coming in and helping. Okay. Alright, I will have to play with those filters again another time. I think I messed some stuff up earlier. Okay. Well, it's perfect now, you say. Alright. Sounds good to me. In that I can't actually hear what it sounds like, but I like what you're telling me. I want the shiver shit. Just a hint of anime-y under the big jacket. Alright. Let's hit the hay.
The bed is comforting, if... Across the room, the heating system hums its soft lullaby. The mattress feels soft and sheets warm. It only takes you moments for the world to fall away.
Thoughts, baby. A million little lights in the dark. You're one fine instrument, brother. All those faces and all those names. All that laughter and screaming and scheming around. Every corner and every street. Recorded in you. Forever on Faraday.
Forever, ever? Spinning on empty.
On and on it goes. For untold hours. At the disco where you first asked her to dance. Rising. Rising. Above the dark curvature. The great wingspan of sleep. Studded with stars. Behold, there are millions of them down there. The first time, the last time. The smoke in her mouth. The plotted flowers. The faces turning, changing.
What is this? You're having a wet dream, Harry.
It's the world, Harry boy, and you're made of it. Every day you're out there, You make more of yourself from it. I'm afraid you can't be unmade now.
Well, that's a shame.
You can never forget this shit.
Helps. The rain, the snow. I don't want to. It's beautiful.
Beautiful. It's stuck on loop, whirling, spitting out words and images.
You're the son of the world again. Harrister, a ceaseless agent. Picking up litter and old newspapers. Collecting your little bubblegum wrappers and idiotic picture postcards. Meaningless, meaningless keepsakes.
Which is why I pawned all of that for like $1.
Reading your awful letters and recalling things, aren't you? The endless names of the world. An address book you are. The map of a city.
That's right, I am an agent of the world. I have been recalling things, and it's been awful.
You'll go insane if you keep going like this. One more day, and you'll be in the loony bin.
Ooh,
I
the
just
loony bin.
know you will. And for what, brother man?
Content.
For the working class. For the money, baby. For Revacon. Always and only Revacon.
Solving your little crossword puzzles. Doing your tasks. Crossing names off lists. Trying to become some sort of world detector. It won't make it okay. It won't put smoke back in her mouth.
So this is one of the additions from the Final Cut. This is our political vision quest that we get to go on now. So you see how several of the political thoughts that we've encountered are speaking up. But of course we are following the rhetoric and going straight to eat the rich and get at the guillotines and communism for all. I didn't even read that as I said that. As I said, communism for all. This time we won't fail. But it won't put smoke back in her mouth. That's a great one. I thought it was like a more literal imagery of like cigarette smoke that you could see, because that's all just sensual areas that you focus on. Smoking is cool, kids. But then you have smoke, like the blue smoke coming out of a machine that tells you it's dead. It's very, very spiritual, very poetic. We're not going to forget politics at this point. So let's go on our communism vision quest. And it's not telling us, or we're not getting the voice line. There he goes again. He's a real political animal, our Harry. He still doesn't see that it's the world that's changing him.
He's got no idea what he's in for.
Why?
'Cause only love can break your heart.
Feel the pillow under your cheek.
Beep, beep, beep. The alarm is ringing, Harry. The disco circus goes on and on. You barely slept 3 hours last night.
Hi there, Maverick. We're having a conversation with our ancient reptilian brain.
You can do it. It's nothing. Do it for the city. Go.
And we're going to go do some detective work on 3 hours. We're going to go wake up and then do some speed on 3 hours of sleep.
Do it for the wind. Do it for the picture puzzle. Put it all together. Solve the world. One conversation.
And they're all healed up.
shit.
Rise and shine, comrade. It's time to get to work. Despite all the thinking you've been doing, only 0.0001% of communism has been built. It's too great a task to undertake alone. You're going to have to get organized.
And when you say, have you seen my shit recently? I've really gotten it together. Alright, we've had our volumetric shit compressor.
It's good that your personal business is in order, but we're talking about political matters of world historical import here. You must seek out your revolutionary brothers and sisters. Find out how much communism they've built. Then, together, maybe you'll be able to build as much as 0.0002% of communism.
I got vaccinated last week and I still hurt in some places. Yeah, that'll happen. When I got my first shot of the dose, it was my arm that was sore for like a whole day. I didn't literally have it in a sling, but I was just kind of in that position the whole day. And then the second time through, I was just out with a fever just the whole time. Managed to sleep it off alright. I had that luxury. No. Main advice I can give is water and electrolytes. I do like the imagery here of building communism, because it reminds me of that one internet YouTube video from like 2010, let's say, where it's the complete history of the Soviet Union as told to the music of Tetris, which is of course originally a Russian folk song, something like that, but just goes, I am the man who arranges the blocks that continue to fall from up above. They come down and I spin them around till they fit in the ground like hand in glove. And it just continues like that, and then they cut in with actual points of Russian history. Maybe we'd be better off if we killed off Gorbachev.
But it won't be easy. Decades of persecution by coalition authorities have driven the remaining communists of Martinaise underground. They live underground. These communists aren't men. They're mole people.
Or meeple. They should coordinate with the snake people. Or Sneeple? Will they help me fire up Mazov's social sausage grinder?
Just between us, you may want to lay off this grind up the bourgeoisie stuff.
It was your
It's a
idea!
bit off-putting, even to fellow communists.
Don't be a pussy now, Rhetoric.
They're not mole people. They're your comrades in the eternal class struggle. It's your task to find and join them.
But I am part of the coalition authorities.
Possibly. If you have been, it's only because you're a double agent acting in furtherance of your long-term objectives. Listen to this. Do you really think you're the kind of person an underground communist cell would entrust with a mission that requires such discretion?
Maybe.
Regardless, what's past is past. You need to look forward to the work of building communism for all.
How am I supposed to find them if they're hiding?
Let your nose guide you, detective. Yes, fortunately, communists are known to have a very distinct smell.
Chat, where is this going?
We really have no idea what they're talking about. There's no linkage between ideology and olfaction.
Alright. What smell am I looking for?
Failure.
They did that line before, but it really got me there. There's so much failure in my life already. I don't know how much more I can take.
That's why you're perfect for the job. No one's got a better nose for failure than you, Harry. What you're smelling is your own body odor, of course. Nothing a shower and change of clothes couldn't fix.
Yeah, shame I haven't had either of those.
People sometimes complain there are no real communists left in Martinez. But you can smell their presence. They're out there, waiting for you to join them.
Cool.
Incidentally, during the waning days of the anti-centennial revolution, a number of Revacholian communards constructed elaborate hideouts in abandoned root cellars, hollowed out tree trunks, and even residential sewage tanks. This latter phenomenon gave rise to the early anti-communist slogan, "The future's bright when you flush out the white."
I don't think that's why some communists are called tankies. Okay, I'm ready. Let's get organized.
First, you'll have to locate the remaining communists in Martinez. When you get near to someone with revolutionary potential, your nose will give you the signal to establish contact. Again, no, it won't. Any olfactory response you perceive will be strictly psychosomatic.
Understood.
Judging from the bust of Krasmazov and other revolutionary paraphernalia you discovered, it seems that the Cape Side apartments may be a hotbed of communist activity.
Sounds accurate to me. Oh, and what will I do once I establish contact with my fellow communists?
You'll discuss the monumental world historical task that lies before you. You'll engage in rigorous and spirited debates about Mazovian theory and practice. But mostly, you'll probably complain about other communists.
Got it. So we're not actually doing any real work or building. We're just complaining about the state of the world.
Not at all. Complaining about other communists is one of the most important parts of being a communist.
They just aren't far left enough yet, you understand. We gotta get them on board with the sausage roll plan. Alright, let's get to it.
Here we go. Wake, brave worker. 'Tis no time for bed. Fight till there's no slaves below, and no masters o'erhead.
Exactly, a Twitter liberal. Which reminds me, did you guys know there's a Canadian election today? Trudeau called in an election a couple weeks ago, and now we're having the federal election here. So we have those results to look forward to later on tonight. I think Trudeau's just trying to get closer to a majority government. Where was our... Or where was our thought? No, it was a new task. It wasn't a new thought. Roam the streets to sniff out some comrades. While I'm in there, I might as well look at some other thoughts. Sugars, no shicks. Recommends the taxation, which is our capitalism thought. The superstar cop. And our fascism thought. Alright. I just have a whole bunch of skill points to spend. Alright. We'll get the Kuno special here. And yeah, let's just very quickly electrochem up. Just because we can. I don't know if it's doing that much for us, but it makes me feel important. Yeah, I'll do.
Now that you've acquired some stimulants, it's time for a little pick-me-up. Time to detect.
Will it make me into a super cop?
It'll make you into more than that. A mega cop. This is your modus operandi. This is how you've done it for years. Let's go.
Why does the speed bottle look like a sippy cup? Wait, but right here? Now?
See? That's your problem. A lack of confidence. Speed can help you with that. It can help you with everything.
It's gonna solve all my problems. This is gonna be really bad for my health, isn't it?
It's not ideal, no. But you need the zeal. Let's face it, you're never going to finish this case without cheating.
Oh, it takes a morale hit. Yeah, we're fine. Okay, my body is ready. Let's do this.
You raise the bottle, close a nostril, and inhale furiously. The rush is almost immediate. It tastes bitter and caustic and stings a bit inside your nose.
Substance used, speedball. Mamma mia.
Now the taste is slowly receding into your throat. The rush is growing in intensity, your little heart pounding like a bird in a cage. A sweat breaks out across your brow. Your jaw clenches.
Do you think Kim will notice?
And, let's be honest, there's a little chest pain. The good kind, of course. You may want to blast a nosofed or something.
Yeah, let's mix some substances. That sounds good. We just got that health back. There we go. Fill us with stimulants.
You could work with this high. Like, literally work. Solve the case. File some papers. Maybe clean up your hostel room. Then solve another case. Then start a side investigation into the paranatural. Then build a radio computer.
Just really go at it.
Whoa, this shit is strong. This shit is disco.
Cool. Let's boogie. Feels great. Are there any downsides at all?
To this? You kidding? There are downsides to not being on it. There are massive downsides. It's a potent neurotoxin. You're turning yourself into a frayed idiot.
Cool. Let's boogie.
Spring. Everything is clear around you. You're ready to concentrate on the next task in the task chain.
I can't really talk while I'm down in caffeine.
In the bottom right corner of the screen, there's a speed button. Speed gives +1 to motoric skills.
Thank you, tutorial agent. Please do not tutorialize speed taking. Alright, and there we go. It is daytime. Fix our clothes back up. Hand-eye coordination jacket. Everything was organized. I had everything lined up and organized. Now it's all over the place. Okay, we got rid of all the those gloves. What glasses am I wearing? Logic glasses? Yeah, that was the deal. Using the thermodynamic expander condensers cycle. Nice. So it's talking about the... Okay. And just to check on the map, because we are going to unlock this goddamn ice bear check. We're going to inspect that body one more time, and we're going to pass this check. Morning, Kim. I'm not weird, you're weird.
Yes?
Hold still a second, Kim.
The lieutenant's posture becomes rigid and uncomfortable as you lean forward and sniff the area just above his shoulder blade. The lieutenant is fastidious as a cat in matters of his personal upkeep, and yet, in the folds of his jacket, you can just perceive the stale and acrid traces of oil rags, transmission fluid, and brake pads. But what sort of ideological picture do these smells paint? Tough to say.
It's almost like you can't really smell ideological things.
Do you need something, detective?
Just as I suspected. You're no lieutenant, you're a mechanic.
I do like to hang around the motor pool every now and then, but that doesn't make me a mechanic.
Alright, there's now a little nice icon there. That's hiding behind my microphone. 55 minutes of speed left.
Sort of like how hanging around the liquor store hasn't made you into a master distiller.
That was a cheap shot, Kim. I'm off the booze now, it's all about the speed.
My apologies, detective. I couldn't resist. Was there something else you wish to discuss?
Maybe get a recap on the case later, but we got time to boogie. Can we try
Yes?
from here? Can we just do a couple of away? Right by the bench. Oh, the bumps are gone. There we go. Okay. So right by the washerwoman.
In the morning light, the white on blue police livery on the motor carriage cannot but catch your eye.
Wait, why am I even thinking about this? I wasn't supposed to...
Do something important? Something murder related? There's always something important. Doesn't mean you can't take a moment to admire this piece of machinery.
I'm on a bit of a clock right
This is a Caprice Kanema, the Caprice Motor Corps follow-up to their highly successful workhorse, Caprice 40, and the answer to the Lum's racing breed, Ferv series. With its air-cooled, rear-mounted 12-cylinder compression ignition engine, driving the rear wheels through a 4-speed manual gearbox, the Kanema is able to reach 100 kilometers per hour in 13.5 seconds. And go on to a top speed of 180 kilometers an hour.
Won't it roll over in the first sharp corner?
The high center of balance is offset by a large battery bank mounted at the bottom of the cabin, feeding all the auxiliary systems and making the Kanema effectively a mobile power plant.
This tech talk is really rubbing me the right way.
Due to a quite steep price tag, it is very unusual to see one in police livery.
I know. We're becoming like Kim. The machine really puts the loco back in locomotion. Very cool.
You want to take a closer look?
He smiles slightly. A fine machine.
Yes. An extraordinary machine.
Helium headlights would improve the range and quality of the visual field a lot.
Ever thought about switching to helium headlights?
Actually, I have a pair at home. Just haven't gotten around to fitting them yet. I need to lay some wiring for the ballast first.
If we ever get this case solved, maybe we could do it together. There we go.
Maybe. Yes, definitely maybe.
He replies with an apologetic smile and nods.
And means no.
Hey. Okay, let's move on. You don't know what the lieutenant means. Alright, this is where I need the flashlight, but I'm not gonna worry about that.
The bear's eyes are still glowing red. It's guarding over the freezing corpse hidden inside its belly.
It's still unlocked, huh? Well, this is why we took the speed, so we'd have some room to grow. Now, this is also where we have Twitch integration on.
The bear's eyes are still glowing red. It's guarding over the freezing corpse hidden inside its belly.
So that you guys can help me with this check, so I can definitely pass it. You get to make things a little bit easier for me, even. No, maybe. I think that was the right one, Amos. We'll give her a shot. Alright. Well, let's go for it.
Your arms reach out and your eyes close, as if by their own volition. It's dark all around. You feel cold, slippery flesh, first with your fingertips, then under the palm of your hand.
We're gonna blow this case wide open. And finally, I can pass that check. And we did it with 17. Perception of 7. And 2 modifiers. Slippery around. You feel cold, slippery flesh. Then under the palm of your hand. What is this? And we're finally cut up to the point we got to in the Game Boy edition.
His nose, his fat, swollen lips. Like a spider, your hand crawls over his features. Everything is silent.
Crawl up his nostrils.
They are swollen shut. You need to really push to get in.
Push your fingers in his nose.
Only the little one fits. The flesh changes shape as you bore in, searching for something in the cartilage.
Just dig in there. Mine for gold.
The thing you're looking for, it's not there. Crawl out, spider.
Not the nose. Put the fingers in his mouth.
The oral cavity is cold and moist. A ball-like tongue attaches itself to the base of the mouth, lolling around like a scallop. You're on the right track.
Play with it. This feels right. This feels good.
The tongue moves freely
This is
in
the
the
correct
cavity.
thing to do.
The mucus of the mouth is slippery, delicate to touch. From the soft meat, teeth are budding. Hard pearls of bone in the gums and in the back of the mouth. Can you feel it? You're so close. Rip his jaws open now. Look in.
Open your eyes and look. We were feeling around with just our touch before, I guess.
A vision of black and dark red death, pried open by your naked hands and studded with teeth. Looks like he's laughing. Death fumes rising from the throat, and there, in the back of his mouth, above the bell of the uvula, right in the soft palate.
Death fumes rising. Oof. There's always one turn of phrase in this game that just hits you right perfectly. But yeah, this is kind of why you remember how I started with that Game Boy edition of Disco Elysium a couple weeks ago, and we got to this point very quickly. I didn't want to end up spoiling this check, but I guess from what I heard, from what I saw on the developers page for that, they were just like, this Game Boy edition is just like the first hour of the game, or just like an hour's worth of gameplay, and it would kind of just railroad you into the plot. So would have liked to play more than 20 minutes of that, but we moved too fast. But now we're caught up again.
You see a hole, barely visible to the human eye. It is swollen shut, almost vanished. No larger than 0.4 centimeters in radius, the edges appear darkened.
4 millimeters.
An abrasion collar. This is what we're after.
I could be a nerd, or I could just say, fuck yeah.
Mm-hmm. Keep going.
Touch it with your finger, gently.
A black trickle of liquid runs into his throat from the wound.
Put your finger in.
Your index fits right in there. A tight tunnel of flesh opens up. Tissue damage. Wide enough for 2 fingers. As you push both in, you reach through his mouth, right into his brainstem.
Brainstem, huh?
Yes, that's what this part is called.
Feel around.
The basal ganglia feels clumpy. What entered here has torn apart his reptilian complex.
Oh, his poor ancient reptilian brain.
This man will never sleep again. Never wake.
Push deeper.
Your fingers slide into the remains of his limbic system. There is no resistance. It's gelatinous. The slug-like structures are damaged too. The tearing extends deep into both hemispheres.
I like that we have the ice bear watch as we dig through the dead man's brain. Oh, there's a limbic system too. That's a shame.
This is what he used to regulate his emotions with.
This is what I look like now, or used to look like. Slug-like brain structures extends deep into both hemispheres.
The ululations of the limbic system have ended. All is quiet.
There's a cavity right between the 2 hemispheres.
The lieutenant answers with the sound of his pen on paper.
Push deeper. Is this 2 rolls? Yeah, I suppose.
Your fingers are all the way in now, reaching toward the inside of his skull. The cavity goes further, but the entry wound isn't wide enough for the rest of your hand to follow.
Wriggling.
Your fingers reach toward his skull. His cerebral cortex feels like jelly. Cold jelly. Strange fluid streams down your wrist as you push deeper until you feel it on the tip of your finger. Sharp, serrated material. The edges cut right into your skin.
Well, I got good odds of this. Fish it out. Even on a 92, I'm a bit nervous. Even on a can't
You
fail
pick the
check, I'm
object
just like,
between your index and middle
we
finger.
could still roll double
It feels
snake
sharp,
eyes.
like metal. With your face twisting from pain and concentration, all you need to do is just...
I got it.
Good, good.
The fridge in the background buzzes like with excitement. Slowly pull your fingers out.
The inside of the head feels cold and smooth, like a glove. Sweat dripping down your brow. Careful not to lose the prize between your fingers. With a plop, your hand emerges from the mouth, covered in blood up to the wrist. Between your fingers, a small flower, a blossom made of lead.
So,
A bullet.
Lieutenant pulls out a small bag marked evidence under it. So, it's kind of opened up from the impact.
The bullet falls in the bag, leaving a smattering of blood on the plastic. He raises the bag under his eyes and says,
A non-caliber. Rifle. Some kind of brittle alloy. Fractured on impact.
Can I have it?
Of course. You've earned it.
The lieutenant drops the bag into your bloody hand. It feels light.
We need to add an item to the injury list. Injury number 4. Oval entry wound with an abrasion color. Soft palate, back of mouth.
Yeah, that seems important.
High velocity. Temporary cavity in brain tissue. Small exit wound on the occiput. How does that sound?
Sounds like heaven.
Opinion, fatal injury.
Goddamn right.
And one last thing. We should amend injury number 3. Ligament mark. New opinion, non-fatal. Post-mortem. Treatment.
Yeah. So we had assumed incorrectly before, but we need to pass that goddamn check.
he's proposing the bullet was the real cause of death, and the hanging an attempt to conceal this fact.
Ligament mark, the fractured hyoid bone, it was all treatment.
Yes, and the belt around his neck, the hanging, even dragging him to the yard. All of it was done after this man was already dead.
Dead. Dabba doop doop. Dead dabba doop doop.
Dead-a-dee dead dead.
Dead-a-dee dead dead. Agreed.
I have had my doubts since you showed me the tracks. Why did they carry him over? Why not march him, I thought. There was no satisfying explanation. There have been other signs too. Small details. Everything is too neatly designed for us to assign probable cause here, as we did, full-heartedly. Well, no more.
Secret task complete. Find the bullet before you get fooled.
We almost fell for it, he thinks. Almost. There is, of course, the very real possibility he was both shot and hanged.
I need to wash myself.
Oh, you really do. I am glad to hear you say that. Your room in the Whirling in Rags should come with a bathroom. Be sure to make use of it in the evening.
But then I have to pay for the room again. Maybe they shot him while they hanged him?
To put him out of his misery? It's possible, but it doesn't explain all the other dubious things here. Lack of struggle, primarily. I may be intellectually sloppy, but I prefer one theory at a time. And this just smacks of treatment to me.
Who would do this?
That's for us to find out. But this, it will make finding them just a little easier.
Why would anyone do this?
To hide something. The real killer, the real motivation, what really happened here.
Maybe the bullet holds more answers?
Yes, we should take a closer look at it. I am certain it has more to tell us.
This little thing could reveal much about the weapon that shot it.
Cool. What happens next?
We bag the corpse and carry him to the holding pen of my kinema. I can transport him to processing myself, but I will be gone for the rest of the day.
You'll be gone? What should I do in the meantime? Meanwhile.
Work on the case. Tend to personal matters. Try not to do anything too dangerous. An officer needs backup in a neighborhood like this.
Do a little speed.
I'll leave that choice to you. And one more thing. Great work, detective.
We're a detective. Feels good.
After you bag the corpse, Lieutenant Kitsuragi will leave the party until tomorrow morning.
Close the door. Alright. Well, we just started the day, so we will leave him to that later. There's the bullet. Yeah, blooming like a flower. The bullet mushroomed out on impact. It now looks more like a fanciful jacket in the bottom jacket button than something that could pierce skin, flesh, and bone.
The bullet is safely sealed away in a plastic bag bearing the RCM stamp. Kim has filled out the label on the bag with the item number, case number, and date and location the bullet was found. Beside his orderly handwriting, the bullet looks especially sad, like a tiny, shriveled head of cauliflower.
What do I do with you, Bullet? Do I still get the Inland Empire stuff to talk to now that I can't talk to the body?
What?
I said, what do I do with you, Bullet?
Well, if I was the bullet, which I'm not, I would say, find the weapon that shot me.
I appreciate that Kim's speaking to my neuroses.
If we find who owns it, we will have likely found who used it, possibly to kill our victim. In conclusion, the more we know about this bullet of yours, the better.
Feel the bullet?
The squashed bullet has some sharp edges where the jacket has split open. It feels cold, even through the bag. You wouldn't ordinarily have cause to handle jacketed bullets. The citizens' militia uses cast bullets only. Little pebbles of metal loaded from the muzzle, usually in a cartridge.
Right, more of a musket rifle type deal. Inspect the bullet closer.
The jacket of the bullet is made of a yellowish metal. It has blossomed out to reveal a dark grey core. The base of the bullet is close to 5 millimeters in diameter. You can just about make out a few striations near the base of the bullet. Little hairlines, linear. It feels standard.
Right, that's where you... That's where you go into the scene from The Great Mouse Detective where they start comparing the bullet barrel lines. Every bullet's like a fingerprint, right? Every barrel is like a fingerprint. Look at the jacket. And the core.
It's quite destroyed. Some of the fragments are still lodged in the wound.
What can you say about the bullet so far?
It's a jacket. Well, I actually know this. It's a jacketed bullet, close to 5 millimeters in diameter.
A jacketed bullet. Okay. It would have been shot from a military-grade breech-loading rifle, not from a muzzleloader, like those typically found on the streets of Martinez.
And it sounds like not my gun.
Highly unusual.
Fingers crossed.
The people of Revachol haven't carried breech-loading weapons like this for nearly half a century.
People of Revachol. So potentially coming from out of Revachol. Across the Pale.
Even the RCM uses ordinary unjacketed conical bullets. This is
There we go.
strange.
Not my gun.
Very strange. I like this, officer. Strange means unique. Unique means incriminating. We need to find the gun that shot it.
He likes it because it's a easy to prove lead and evidence. We find the gun. There won't be many guns that match it, so if we can find the match, then we've as good as found the murder weapon.
Something tells you that won't be any time soon. This'll have to be one of those epic tasks that's open for a while.
Sure. Right. Well, I've got my hand-eye coordinate jacket on. Where are our volunteers? We have a similar rifle on hand, which we found nearby. Aware of the name of the antique rifle we found, because we got that from someone. Encyclopedia said that this bolt came from a breech loader. All sorts of bonuses.
You can't remember what happened last week. What makes you think you're going to remember arcane firearm models?
Okay. We got room to grow on that stat. We can figure that out later. Okay. Put the bolt away. Nothing more to say. Did we interact with everything here? No, we didn't. We don't have the boombox yet. We need to go get the boombox. Did I leave the fridge open? Well, just one of those idle thoughts that you have. That's a bit different in this scenario. What am I trying to do? I am looking at wash off the death smell. Good place to visit once you can have some privacy. Find the murder weapon. Perform an advanced analysis using hand-eye coordination. I want to go around and unlock some checks. Wash basin. There's a wash basin check back at the... back there. Hand-eye coordination. Am I missing another perception check? Doesn't look like it. That's fine. Trash container. I don't think I cared about that. Warded door. Just thinking about all this stuff. Right, we didn't care about that because we got through that door. There's a volition check that we care about. There's a whole lot of locked checks. And we want to be able to find. And I'm just thinking about while we're on the speed and can do better. Alright. Let's travel here. Let's find this wash basin check. I just missed it. Primer for small kids. Is it something over here? Am I finding more stuff because I put pointed to... We just found some speed on the ground. Great. Came you saw nothing. Are we just finding more stuff around the world because we have higher perception now? Where's this wash basin that we're supposed to be interacting with? Right, no, I remember now. That's the check to shave. We don't need to shave. We are in fact not going to shave. Okay. I don't think there's anything else we benefit from doing that check. Alright. So we have to go turn in our tear. That's the hobo cop that we are. Yeah. Get ourselves a bunch of money. Buy ourselves a boombox.
The tear machine stands in the... Your bottles clunk into the machine.
A whole $2. Perfect. And then get us some plot. guess mostly interfacing checks. Do we just want to... Yeah, we may as well. Alright, so both of those are bookstores, and then this is from the pawn shop. Up there.
The boomboxes wait on the shelves, and your boombox, that gold and amber Harmon Waushi, stares at you longingly with its tape-reel eyes.
Thanks for the discount, man. Here's the money for the boombox.
And here you are. Quality sound reproduction on the go. It'll play anything, wherever. Turn any tape into a conversation of sounds and shapes.
You see rows of toy soldiers guarding the rest of the trinkets displayed on the table. Some on horseback, others in rags, others yet in bright blue uniforms. All are stern and unyielding in their duty.
Up you go, interfacing.
You see rows of toy soldiers guarding the... Why? What's this? A headless man riding a horse? A headless man wearing futuristic tracksuit trousers that say found.
What is this?
Oh, that's the headless phone rider.
Of course. Of course.
There's been a lot of interest in that particular figurine. I had to hide it so it wouldn't fall into the wrong hands.
He doesn't elaborate on these wrong hands. It's unlikely that he ever will.
Roy's great.
I've heard about it. I've heard the headless phone rider rides a headless bull.
Yes, there are several competing versions of the story, but I believe this figurine is a more canonical representation.
Sorry, what are we talking about?
The Headless Phone Rider. It's an urban legend about a man who rides the streets of Revachol sporting a fawn tracksuit. As you see, he's missing his head.
He points at the decapitated figurine.
50 cents. Bargain price. I'll throw in the tiny cap too. I think he's looking for it, or something. That part of the story has many interpretations.
You think maybe he's looking for his head?
He lost his cap when he lost his head. Perhaps he's looking for the head.
Sure. 50 cents, I'll buy that.
Did I mention that this figurine is supposed to be lucky? Always carry it with you.
Sage advice.
That was a very smooth salesman's grin that almost comes off as earnest. You should learn from him.
All he got is good. I'll buy that for $1. Or even 50 cents. Bookstore time. Gotta have... Oh, thank God the working class woman is not here. There's something down there. The musty smell of a potato cellar in the spring emanates from the air vent. So it was, I think both the items I'm after are up here, both the checks.
Several maps. The maps look old and faded. Your eye catches a this large map, this ozone, Laurent disintegrate in the northeast, radiating outwards from you. The ocean breaks up connection 8. This large ozone disintegrate in the northeast, radiating outward. The ocean breaks apart connections to other worlds. 850 million people. Shelves full of biography. Browsing through all suddenly. High-speed love next to Irv's life story. Next to that,
I really must
she understands.
I'm sorry, I did not mean.
Browsing through all the sudden high-speed next to that,
I really.
she
I'm sorry, I did not mean to run.
Where was this check? It must have been this display over here.
This bookstore is not strictly amidst the various. The point of the book, and many others on this shelf, is to give people various paranatural books.
I can't have you end up.
Was it this one?
A sulfur-crested
There we
cockatoo
go.
sits on the cover, its beak slightly open. It
You
looks
gotta
as
take
if
this.
the bird is calling out. You wait for the storekeeper to be distracted. When she's not looking, you
We call
haul
that
the
the
tome of
five-finger
cockatoos
discount.
into your pocket. It's quite a challenge, but eventually, the guide to the cockatoos is yours. Splendid effort.
You've acquired an interactable item.
Cool.
Shelves filled to the brim with crime novels featuring the supposedly stalwart Vespertine detective, Dick Mullen.
Alright, so yeah, look at all those. Map wall. Maybe it's just stuck there. Like like this volition check. I think that might be the map that we bought outright. So there might not be anything more to see there. Hey kid. Studying hard?
Hi, Ace Detective.
Thanks for
Are
the
you
hat
here for
again.
more books?
Ace Detective.
The display rack is brimming with worn paperbacks featuring an extremely muscular
Nothing to steal there. Just books to buy and pay for. Okay. I think we had a check around. I think we unlocked a rhetoric check here.
It is such a pleasure to see you again, officer.
We did,
How
in
may I
fact.
head the citizens' militia on this fine day?
Convince Gaston to relinquish his sandwich. I think we can manage this. We just have to present a convincing argument for communism and how this is really our sandwich. We will destroy him with facts and logic. We have a lot of logic improvements, not a lot of rhetoric improvements. In fact, it might just be that one, the one shirt. Okay.
It is such a pleasure to see you again, officer. How may I head the citizens' militia on this fine day?
There's also a impossible rhetoric check. And that one. What is our rhetoric say? 6? That's pretty good. could be better though. Let's get some tools out. Some important police tools. Very good. Important police tools. Where am I? Where are I? I had more cigarettes, didn't I? I also had way more uses of a bottle of speed. No? Okay. Oh, this is up to 6 uses, even though it's the same model. And this is up to 6 uses. Alright, so it only takes up 1 item slot. Even if it is multi-use. These are here. Oh no, maybe I did use up all my cigarettes at some point. Or I left them in my other pants. Well, let's see if we can buy a pack of cigarettes. Maybe I gave them to someone else. That sounds like a thing I would do. Surely that's enough for a little
A small cabinet on the wall is filled with
not these.
A colorful display.
Again, I'm obliged to inform you that both alcohol and cigarettes damage your health.
No, nothing. Pale aged vodka. And the potent pilsner. Not enough for that. Okay. Well, let's just try it, right?
It is such a pleasure to see you again, officer.
Hey, give me that
How
sandwich.
may I have the citizens...
A man so principled about his sandwich calls for a principled approach. Time to get political.
Yes. What is political?
This right here is political.
Your blood sandwich. It is a tool of oppressors designed to keep the proletariat docile.
What? What oppressors?
The lieutenant gives you a sharp glance.
I am not going to listen to this comic connery.
Oh, but you will. He utters through clenched teeth and turns his back to you.
Huh?
The jolly man is scratching his head in bewilderment. He doesn't understand the situation. Let me ask you, comrade, did you make the sandwich yourself?
Yes, officer.
Well, let me just... My hair looks terrible. He proudly displays his culinary miracle. It is magnificent. Oh? Still, the overabundance of sandwich embodies it. The sandwich embodies is inherently evil. The overabundance. I don't think this plan is going to work.
I really don't understand how my sandwich could...
He starts but falls silent. Wouldn't you rather have a proper sandwich? A sandwich with a soul?
I would rather just have this one, officer. It's really good.
He's avoiding your eyes.
Tell this lost comrade what the people's sandwich would be like. Distill the essence of the working man in a sandwich.
But imagine a sandwich covered entirely in fine metal dust from an industrial plant. But imagine a sandwich absolutely minimal in design, sleek, efficient, simple.
The skepticism emanating from the Merry Senior could be sensed all the way to the Seminine Isles. He's not imagining it.
Envision a bread as black as the soil it came from. Melting butter, yellow like the sun shining in the fields.
I don't want to. Look, officer, I like different, classic food. Fine dining, not soil. Please, just drop it.
Let's talk some more about Jean-Marie.
Sweet
Swerve.
Jenny. Of course, officer.
I don't think
Memories are all... Sure, officer. No.
Bye for now. Alright, let's see what's going on at my car. Okay. Order of operations. I want to check off the 2 rhetoric checks that I unlocked so that they can get locked up again, basically. The other one is
there.
Cargo.
Do you smell that?
Smell what?
Can you not detect that inimitable whiff of dissatisfaction and restlessness, that sense that the world is in need of dramatic, even violent reordering?
Violent, you say? Does that mean there's a communist nearby? Close your eyes and take a deep breath.
Can you smell it now?
Can I smell it now? Perception, what do you have to say?
You inhale. The cilia along your olfactory epithelium tingle with excitement as they sift through the swirling morass of industrial odors. First come the smells of the agitated strikebreakers, layers of body oil and sweat, over-buttered meals pulled from bake-like lunch pails, the biting stench of lye soap. And then there's the slowly oxidizing metal gates, the scent of stale grease emanating from every crack.
Everything in order, detective?
I'm smelling for communist, Kim.
You're smelling for... You know what? I'll just leave you to it. Carry on, detective.
You still call me detective, so everything is fine.
It is a mark of the lieutenant's respect for you that he does not press you on this decidedly extracurricular errand.
Good enough. Are we standing on top of the lorry?
The lieutenant lacks your highly developed political olfactory cortex. The reek of communism is undeniable, and it's coming from that railing right there.
Comrade! You mean Manana?
Yes, now's your chance to establish contact.
Hola, wandering man.
Attempt to establish contact. Listen, brother. There's something important I need to talk to you about.
What's that, boy?
Now's your chance. Remember, communists are notoriously skittish, so it's best to insinuate your way in.
Oh, Andrew, you got here just in time. We're establishing contact with other communists. They smell of failure, and that's how we identify them. I'm looking for some people who know how to really grind a sausage, if you know what I mean. It involves our mutual friend, Kraz. I'm investigating a peculiar smell, one with revolutionary implications. I'm looking for a secret cabal of mole people? Alright. When we say eat the rich, we mean grind them into a sausage first.
Have you tried a butcher shop?
He looks at you with perfect equanimity. Secret cabal of mole people?
You might have to look elsewhere for help with that.
He scratches his chin.
Okay, maybe it's time to abandon the subtle approach.
It was your idea, Rhetoric. It involves our mutual friend, Kraz. Oh, there's a new option here. What I'm trying to say is I'm looking for communists. You know any?
Ah, now I see. Can't say I'm surprised. You seem to take your communism seriously. Not a bad thing, mind you. It's good for a man to take time to think about the whole socio-political world picture.
Oh, he certainly likes to take his time with things, especially when politics are at issue.
Thank you.
So you've given up copying and now you're hunting comunistas. Care to say why?
I'm on a sort of quest to develop my political potential, and I need their help. Honestly, I had a weird dream, and now I need to get to the bottom of it. Develop my political potential.
A fellow plains roamer in search of greater understanding. A classic story.
He nods approvingly. And they have the copyright-free version of a planeswalker.
I wish I could help. Unfortunately, I don't know many comunistas.
I know you said you're not really a communist, but aren't you really a communist? I thought you union guys were all communists.
Some are, some aren't. It's a big institution, room for all kinds. Comunistas, feminist supremacists, even an anti-institutional boyadero.
He sounds interesting. There's warmth in his voice when he talks about the Union. Whatever his personal politics, this is his home.
Alright, so if he isn't personally a communist, he's definitely hanging out with them.
We will get to the bottom of this.
Ah, but you know, I did meet a genuine ideologo a few months ago. Perhaps he's your guy.
What is an ideologo? What is an ideologo?
You know, a guy with a theory. Someone who likes to pit his theory against other theories in deadly theory combat.
Ah, yes, the theater of ideas. How did you meet him?
It was late one night as I was leaving the arbor. He was waiting on the corner in a bright white jack. Classic Saramirizian style.
Is this our guy from last week? The true moralist? I don't think so.
He asked me for a light. We shared cigarettes. Then he asked me if I ever thought about getting into some of the extra physical branches of communism.
I think he was coming on to you.
No idea. I took it to mean he was asking me to join some sort of underground cell.
It's the homosexual underground.
A very old school organizing technique. The sort of thing comunistas used to do before the revolution.
What'd you tell him?
The same thing I always tell people who try to press some claim on me. I said, every boyadero rides alone.
Very disco. Okay, how do I find this guy?
I couldn't tell you. Once I declined his offer, we finished our cigarettes and he disappeared back into the night. Just before he melted into the shadows, he turned to me and said, "Remember Dobrava and Abadanais." And then he was gone.
I don't remember.
I don't know. Guess not everyone remembers.
A tight half smile crosses his face. What do you think it means?
Been wondering about that myself. Some comunista inside talk with me. Not meant for the wider public. They love that kind of thing. You'd have to ask someone who knows this ideologo personally. I have to say though, it sounds like you found yourselves a proper hunt.
The man whispers a jaunty tune. A coastal breeze ruffles his hair.
Good talking to you. Gotta run. Did I ever clear this check that was in here? A giant ass print on the pillow and a pattern of coffee rings on the armrest. Someone is habitually chilling next to the radio.
The file cabinet stands steady as ever, and the unlocked drawer slides out to greet you.
Dress code Modus Mullen. Oh, we got a bonus for our clothes, even though it's a bit different. All right.
Whatever's hidden here is hidden well. Concentration isn't enough. Only a trained accountant with a background in logistics would be able to really make sense of it. However, there is a little handwritten note stuck on the side of the drawer.
Look at the note.
It appears to be a to-do list written in large, uneven capital letters.
Just all big capitals. Okay. Makes it very easy.
Remember, Leo, Everart's shoes, special whirling borscht, water Everart's plants, sweep office floor, more banners.
Ah, Leo's hard at work.
All items on the list have been crossed out, and the note itself is crumpled.
Look, Kim, a to-do note with a list of errands for Everard.
One of his aides must have left it. Nothing incriminating here.
The special borscht seems a bit odd in the list.
It just says special whirling borscht. Take another look at the note.
Remember, Leo, Everart's all items on the list have been crossed out, and the note itself, the drawer slides.
Neat. Do we have a task? Or did we get a task for that? Find the murder weapon, get yourself organized. Roam the streets, smell out some comrades, find out more about this EDL logo. Get 2 signatures for Everett. Let Everett know you mailed the signatures. Okay, we can do that as well today. Maybe we can ask Lee about the things we saw here. We should get our authority back up, though, I think. The authority boots? Yeah, there they go. Oh, we're on top of Kim, I think. So he's facing through us a little bit. There we go. And we lost our perception buffs from that? That's fine. You're the rhetoric check. Why did I change clothes?
You're back before the cargo container. Its drawer has not lessened since you were last here. If anything, it seems to have grown slightly.
So we are getting bonuses to this. Been in this world for many days. This is now day 4, in fact. Maybe this will get easier just as the game progresses. And we've got this isohedra die. Everything's great.
Despite the dirt that surrounds and trails you,
Holy shit!
A beacon of light emerges from deep within you.
Critical success! We'd love to see it. Hello, is anybody in there?
The door stands silent.
Satisfied, detective?
A wry smile crosses the lieutenant's face. No, I'm not satisfied.
Try again.
Excuse me. If there's someone in there, I'd like to talk to you.
Just like that, you hear a click, then a rattle. Some mechanism unlocks itself inside the door.
We have successfully argued our way into a door.
Ahoy! Come on in!
That portrait. Mega-rich, light-bending guy. From deep within the container, a voice.
You can't be serious.
The smile disappears. Great stuff. Great stuff. there's a dude there. I definitely see a dude there. And our money amount is
The
changing
man
as we
stands at the far end
move
of the
closer and
shipping
further away from
container.
him.
It's hard to say anything more about him. You cannot make out any of his details, but you do feel the overwhelming presence of capital.
Oh, look at our model. It's just completely warped. Are we warping through to the other side?
The feeling causes all the hairs on your body to stand at attention, like soldiers preparing for review.
Squint?
Something's amiss. The light beams bend around his face and scatter in 1,000 directions. It seems the laws of physics do not apply here. They are suspended, distorted, and echo.
What a strange sci-fi world this is.
Trying to visualize the physics at play is liable to give you an aneurysm. Don't think about it too hard.
Oh, if we get past that check. That would have been something cool.
In
I'm sure.
the general stillness, only your tongue moves, flickering as you utter.
Hello?
Welcome. Come in. Make yourself at home. Sorry, I'm not better able to receive you. I wasn't expecting visitors today.
You can't hear him exactly, yet you're able to understand every word he says. It is very strange. An overwhelming hum covers everything. Voice doesn't escape from him.
Oh, it's like, he's talking with his spirit. Like a JoJo stand. Or Zoro with a pencil in his mouth.
Now, what can I do for you, gentlemen?
He claps his hands together. What you can see of his body appears composed in a sharp summer suit and yacht shoes. Who are you?
Who am I? Oh, I haven't been asked that question for such a long time. I don't meet a lot of people outside my circle these days.
There's genuine surprise in his voice.
Anyhow, my name is Rustam Diodore, investor, license holder, and extremely high net worth individual. And you are?
High net worth individual. License to what? And Diodore sounds vaguely like Latin for gold.
Mr. Diodore, I am Lieutenant Kim Kitsuragi of the RCM, and this is my partner.
The name's Raphael Ambrosius Cousteau. We need to impress this guy. Our name is Raphael Ambrosius Cousteau, most likely.
Pleasure to meet you, Raphael. I'm surprised in a positive manner, do understand, about your exceedingly high net worth name.
See, that's the right call.
It is not. Never mind.
Oh, don't you worry, Lieutenant. I can tell a good man when I see one.
We have that. How did you become so rich? What are you... No, what's more important? What are you doing in this container?
Traveling. This is a great way to get around. It's fun, it's safe, and it gives me lots of time to think.
What are you doing for food? Or sleep? Or the bathroom? Or does those physics just not apply to you either?
By the way, let me now ask you a question. Where are we exactly?
In the very, very early days of colonizing this archipelago, the kingdom of Sirens, a precursor of a modern Sur-le-Clay, used to own the city of Revachol, an obscure detail in the bigger picture, but still worth dropping.
Oh, sure. Precursor to Surinese. We're in Revachol, a former colony of the Kingdom of Surinese. Swirling rags. There's a cool church here. former colony of the Kingdom of Surinese.
Ah, a fellow history buff. I myself am currently reading up on Franco-Nigerian era trains. Very interesting stuff.
For half a second there, I was expecting them to be like, former colony? What happened? And this is just a guy that's hundreds of years old and is a little, not all there.
It's a shame I can't get out and explore myself. One of the downsides of being an extremely high net worth individual is that mobs of low net worth individuals are constantly banding together to ask for money.
Hi, I'm Mobs. Wait, why don't you help them? You've got so much money, it can't make a difference to you.
There simply aren't enough hours a day to hand out all the handouts. It's like feeding seagulls. There are always more, and they never seem to do anything interesting with it, except more seagulls.
That's what you get the charities to do. You just dump it on them, and then they deal with the logistics, the bureaucracy of writing all the little checks. You have money, you buy time to give out the rest of the money. You're good. Problem solved.
Spending money is a matter of desire. I'm sure you agree. I don't have the desire for spending it like that.
So you travel from place to place via shipping container?
Smart, no? It also provides a means to hide from all the targeted advertising we extremely high net worth individuals are constantly subjected to.
I mean, it's all just, you spend money to brag about how much money you spent when you're that rich. And it's just a bunch of stuff that no one could possibly want or desire, except for the bragging rights. Gold-plated toilets and such.
Luxury yachts, high-fidelity portable radio systems, fail-proof outerwear, and so on. It just gets a bit middle class after a while. A bit bourgeois.
Yeah, wouldn't the middle class be nice? Those all sound pretty nice.
Don't get me wrong. They're nice things. But once you achieve a certain level of wealth, your time and mental space become much more important than material goods.
Again, I say money buys you those things.
He speaks from the heart. He has very different problems compared to low net worth individuals, such as yourself.
Hey.
For example, no problems at all.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Good, now that we sorted that out, let me ask you something else.
Go right ahead.
How did you become so rich?
Oh lord, not this again.
What's the matter, Kim?
Oh, nothing. It's just that we've got this murder to solve, and yet you go around asking everyone about money. And every time I ask, are you sure this is related to the case, you say, sure, Kim, I think it is.
I've spent that money for the sake of the case. It's all advancing. This money is very expedient. I think that's what it's called, the concept of the velocity of money, where you give me some money and I'm going to spend it right away. And then the person that I paid is going to go and buy groceries. And then the grocery clerk is going to go and buy supplies. And it's all stimulating the economy, Kim. It's all in favor of the case.
And yet, it never seems to get us any closer to solving the case.
I disagree.
It's quite alright. I'm used to the question by now. To be blunt, I inherited my fortune from my grandmother, who herself was an extremely high net worth individual back in Grad.
As always, say the line, Bart.
All I did was take her fortune and invest it prudently. Believe it or not, it takes more than a bit of skill not to blow a vast fortune on sailing boats, bad choices, and unsupervised state policy.
What was that last one?
Actually, at the level this guy is, it takes several generations to do that. But, alright,
What's it like being an extremely high net worth individual? Because I'll never know.
I gotta tell you, at first, being rich is a lot of work. You've got to work hard because everything's so darn expensive. You know, prices increase exponentially at this income level.
Is that a fact?
But then, once you've reached my position, it's nearly impossible for me not to make money. My assets are so diversified that I'm bound to come out ahead no matter what.
That's what I thought.
Some of my lower net worth friends say to me, but doesn't that take all the fun out of it? And I tell them, not really.
You're a thief. People are out there working their asses off while you chill here. Don't you think you owe some of that wealth to the rest of society? Cool. Don't you think you should use your great wealth for the glory of it? No. You're a thief.
And that's what? Unjust? I think it's perfectly just.
Well, sure. When you're rich, you create laws. You're using your money as its own justification. What do you mean?
Listen, Mr. Cousteau.
You remembered my name.
I used to be an idealist just like you. But the truth is that we have no objective system by which to measure someone's value other than the market. We should just embrace that rather than resist it.
Or we could tear the whole thing down.
The hand that allocates resources among men is invisible and cruel, but it is steady, measured. Indeed, it is just.
I don't think it's any of those things.
Capital makes one speechless, does it not? Blinds like the sun that rises from beyond the horizon after a gloomy winter.
Hey, all this talk about money has made you lose the thread. What is going on with the light in this place? That's what you need to ask him about.
I like this. Hey. You're a rich investor, right? Can I have some money? There we go. This is the question that Kim was actually bothered about.
Could you please stop asking everyone for money? It does not reflect well on the RCM, and to be perfectly frank, we can't afford to look worse than we already do.
But Kim, I also can't afford to look any better than I do now. That's why I need the money.
It's perfectly alright. Based on your appearance, I can tell I'm dealing with a smart man.
Thank you.
As you may know, us high net worth individuals do not have a lot of cash on hand. Investments and liquidity are enemies of one another. I think I only have coins for coffee machines.
I could use a coffee.
Here is 3 real. How much can you get for this?
It gets me almost nothing.
That's the idea, my friend. You've got to work for the rest.
It's like my dad.
Maybe you can make that money grow. Come up with an investment plan. How's that sound?
These ultra-liberal types love losing huge sums of money on ludicrous proposals. Ergo, you should come up with a plan that's totally dead in the water.
Art degree useless. Fantastic. And it looks like these are competing ideas. There's something strange about you.
What do you mean?
Well, I don't know. You look a bit, somehow, a little different. His essence seems to signify actual surprise.
Are you talking about my chin?
No, I can't even see you. It's as if there's something happening to the light.
Oh, that's what you mean. Yes, I've heard of this effect, though I've never witnessed it myself, of course. It has something to do with our Weiss-Wiesemann coefficient.
Weiss-Wiesemann?
The Weiss-Wiesemann coefficient is a ratio designed to reflect the difference in net worth between individuals. When the coefficient is close to 1, or 100%, It means one person possesses all the net worth. Among that group of individuals, it's been observed that when the Weiss-Weismann coefficient reaches about 0.96 or so, the laws of physics begin to bend around the high net worth individual.
Are you telling me that you are so rich that light literally bends around your face?
Among other things. But calm down. I'm but a lowly single-digit billionaire.
I'm calm. A single-digit billionaire. Well, too bad billionaires aren't allowed to exist anymore.
That's good.
I'm calm. Kim, are you saying this weird stuff?
I see nothing of the sort. To be frank, all I see is a gentleman who's unusually well dressed for Martinez, in a cargo container, which I admit is odd.
How rich are you, Kim? Oh no, now I'm gonna try to do the math. So we have a billionaire who's at least 1 billion, at most 9.999 billion, and we have Kim, who's got to be less than 96 ratio off from that. And we're obviously, we have none, right? It's like dividing by 0, right? I'll have to try and math this out later.
Yes, I imagine that does look strange to you. My container.
Well, we're gonna fail at this, so present a sound investment plan.
If business planning were really your strong suit, you probably wouldn't be a cop.
Okay, so I've got this great idea for a board game.
Go on.
Brace yourself, it's very high concept. It's a twist on an already established working idea.
Yes.
It's a pen and paper role-playing game, only the players are connected with radio computers.
Hold on. Have we met before?
Maybe? I wouldn't really know.
No, on second thought, it couldn't have been you.
Someone has proposed this idea to him before.
Your idea reminds me of a group of young men who came to me a long time ago, calling themselves Fortress Accident. The name should have been a red flag.
It's like naming an anime studio the Titanic.
They pitched me and a handful of other investors on an idea for a role-playing game that would, in their words, change the world.
And what happened?
Well, at first everything was rosy. The ideas were solid, but they were lacking in... how do I put it?
Capital?
They lacked the will to get things done. As their financial situation became more desperate, their ideas devolved from realistic to absolute insanity. We lost all of our money. High art types never deliver. They're only good for peddling Welkins or whatever creeps they come up with.
Oh, right, the Vulcans were that elf analog that was a bit fascist.
I guess the inordinate amount of time they put into drawing mythical creatures did not generate a return on investment.
Where are they now? Do you know?
Nobody knows for sure, but the place can't be pretty.
Did you try to salvage the project somehow?
Sadly, when we got there, it was too late. The concept had run out of steam. Only dust remained. What I want to tell you is this. It's a very bad idea. Dead in the water. You seem like a reasonable man, but that is not a reasonable plan.
Okay, well, maybe I was wrong. We've all learned something today.
Thank you for the advice.
You're welcome. Now, was there something else I could help you with?
Clocking. Bankruptcy sequence. Morale. I'm sure concept will.
It was a real pleasure. Sadly though, my current lifestyle prevents me from remaining more than a brief time in any one place. Perhaps we'll meet again, somewhere far away. Farewell, friend, and may your peace of mind guide you to happiness.
Okay. snap back to reality. Oop, there goes gravity. Thought. Bankruptcy sequence. Layoff season. Ooh. Businesses love silence. The second loudest sound in the world, eclipsed only by the collective screams of market crash victims. So let me whisper one to you. Do you feel the veil of the sun god slipping? Are the better days gone? Are we entering bankruptcy? Is the company gonna go down and leave you in the gutter with the rest of the dredges, delivering parcels for soup money? You need to crisis manage your way out of this. BRB. Talk to you in like 5-10 minutes. Okay, I'm back, refreshed. Flipped the laundry, got myself some ice cream. Refilled my water and coffee. That's good. It's my 4th cup of coffee today. That's fine, right? Yeah, tell me about this borscht.
Oh, hey, mister. I knew you'd be back to talk with old Leo. No trouble at all, mister. No trouble at all. It's like that old saying goes, wisdom withers if not shared. And old Leo is always up for sharing.
Leo, did you write the note to make more banners?
Oh, yes, yes. I leave all kinds of notes for myself. That old head of mine ain't so good at keeping things in no more. I almost forgot about the borscht.
What was that about the borscht?
Oh, yes. I've been taking special whirling borscht to the men every day since the strike started.
Is the borscht feeling the strike?
It's very, very good. Makes a man feel so warm and happy. I feel like I could take on Mr. Renadan's boar dogs every time the lunch is done.
Is the soup for striking?
Yes, yes. I'm taking it to them. The borscht keeps them happy and in fighting spirits. Makes you all warm inside. They brew it in the whirling in rags.
Something is off about this borscht. I'm going to look into it. Well, it's a task, so we're going to do it.
Oh, sure, mister. Sure. You do that. Yes, sir.
Thanks, Leo.
Yes, of course. Now we're on the right track.
The big head honcho communism? I like this. Just inhale. Go on.
It smells like. We're getting crates and pallets calling to mind. Vast stands of winter pines. A swirl of ancient odors absorbed by heavy carpet fibers. But also a pervasive, treacly sweetness that somehow reminds you of cola nuts.
Does it smell of failure?
The whole place could probably use a good deep cleaning, you think?
Well, smelling much communism around the Union boss's office?
Hush, Kim, I'm detecting. Meanwhile, Everett Clare clatters away on his typewriter, willfully indifferent to your presence. This is not fishing around, is it? It's... Finish that sentence. Come on. So, what is that? Back scratcher? Well, it's not interactable, so...
Mr. Dubois, a pleasure as always. You don't have to sit down this time, since you've already sat on that chair. The Golden Boy returns once more. Wonderful. Simply wonderful, Harry. Of course. I already knew this.
He claps his hands together like a child who's been offered cotton candy.
My friend, the mailman, confirms the letter is on its way. You've done a great thing today. You've given the children of Martinez a future and proven to be a true man of the left. I can finally trust you now. You're in my inner circle. You too, Mr. Kitsuragi. We can talk about anything. The strike, the murder, your lost gun, nothing is off the table.
Great, because I definitely lied about mailing those 2 signatures.
Oh!
Oh, Bratan, you play the old man like a three-string banjo. He has no idea.
Whew, I almost did a spit take there. That was very close.
Better not to gloat, sire. 'Tis arrogance that gives the play away. Be subtle.
Did you order the hangman killed?
I did not, Harry. Although I am very, very glad he's dead.
Yeah, I kind of figured that this all benefits you. What do you gain from him being dead?
Why, a war, of course.
Hold. You're after war.
And what do you have to gain from a war?
I thought only warmongers and, weapons manufacturers that's gained from war.
Victory, Mr. Kitsuragi. I have victory to gain. We are going to start a war with the Wild Pines group and win before they even realize there is a war.
Have you ever heard what 2 giant Sirius Hornets can do to an entire colony of bees? They destroy it. They're trained military people that aren't afraid of your... Aren't you afraid for your men?
I have. It's a great story, Harry. Did you also know how the bee colony kills the giant hornet? They swarm and blanket it entirely until it suffers a massive heat stroke and dies.
I don't think that's going to work here.
He crosses his hands contently, thinking of the interior temperature of the wasp rising.
Harry, we outnumber them 1,500 to 1, and that's just Martinez. With all the unions in Revachol, and with public opinion on our side, we can hold off 2 men, or 15 men, or even 50 men.
How about 2 automatic rifles?
The more they send, the worse it's going to look for them. They made a huge mistake hiring those guys. No one likes foreign mercenaries. The leftists hate them, the fascists hate them, even the moralists think they're in bad taste.
We found the perfect villains. Yeah, everyone hates them, except ultra-liberals, maybe, which happens to be... Ooh. How's this... Yeah, the capitalists don't hate them. Let's follow this once.
You're not an ultra-liberal, Harry. Get the fuck out of here.
Wow!
Don't be a retard.
Wow! Let's get that off the screen.
Harry, there is no strike, only war. Class war. Or, in business terms, a dawn raid. Or wait. Is that when you still pay them something? Because we won't do that.
Wow, Everett. Just as he's starting to sound reasonable and like, a comrade. Whoa! What an unlikable turd. Oh, sorry. Bit more business, a dawn raid or... Is that when you still pay them for something? Because we won't do that.
We're not going to give nothing. We're going to take Terminal B away from them. The roads, the gates, the containers, that big crane, even the damn coffee maker. We're going to take all of it for the people, and fuck Wild Pines.
I think you call that a coup.
The word fuck rings like a gunshot from his mouth. He doesn't swear often.
Except for that part where you... Except in the presence of ultra-liberals, I guess.
So that's why you haven't let Joyce in?
Yes. It's also why I let that midget Gaumont go.
Again.
He's too nice. I can't put him through this. Plus, he knows how to get in here. That woman can't tell her tits from her asshole.
Wow.
She has no chance.
Again, I say, except in the presence of ultra-liberals. What?
Tits from her asshole. It's a local saying.
Is it now?
Actually, no, it's not.
Didn't think so.
Because we're friends, Harry. Besides, it doesn't matter now. You can go tell her if you want. It won't change the course of events. We have a significant head start. It's already happening.
How many of you guys are there in the Union?
2,372. Plus yours truly, of course.
He replies like a whip. Well, you were estimating closer to 3,000 a minute ago.
2,373 is a sizable contingent for a labor organization in Revachol.
In fact, he almost... Well, you overestimated by 800. Which would have put that at 1,200 per? 1,100 per?
And they're all well motivated. At least the ones you've seen.
The signatures I got. I know you plan to force them out with your construction noise.
Harry, by now you should know I would never do anything tricky like that. However, if the construction noise and limited street access makes some people consider moving...
Hey, you said limited street access. Yeah, you're trying to make these people miserable.
Well, let's just say there'll be freshly renovated buildings near the roundabout where those poor people can finally enjoy a significant uptick in quality of life. I'm talking real affordable workers' palaces.
So you're forcing them out for your local people, or for your employees, to live there instead. And everything for the Union, I guess.
So the village is doomed.
Mm-hmm.
You were there, you saw the place, a wasteland, there's nothing left. But mark my words, officers, we are going to reset it.
Reset. He slams his fist on the table, causing some of the coffee to spill out. Reset under your leadership, huh?
Reset. I have big plans for Martinez, and they do not include humans living in those pig sheds on the coast. That land will be used for municipal buildings and commerce. Harry, imagine a youth centre supermarket church complex.
Hold on.
Employing hundreds, no, thousands of people. The coast will be lit up with enterprise and life. All those ruins out there turned into low-income housing.
It's like 1 square mile. What are you doing with that? They're already low-income housing.
Harry, enough is enough. We're taking this district back. The war was 50 years ago, for God's sake. It's time to move on.
Taking this district back. And life. I knew you were a man of the people, Everett. Do you really expect me to believe this? Youth supermarket church complex?
Yes, I do. I got the centre, I got room for a retail complex, and in 4 years, I'll get the church too. The wheels are already turning, Harry. The wheels of progress. This post-war limbo, I won't stand for it. There are kids practically playing with their own feces out there. It cannot go on.
They're playing with rocks, actually. Isn't this the plot of Yakuza 0?
There is true indignation in his voice when he speaks about the state of things, and even a touch of pain.
Wait, but will you erect a statue of yourself? As all leaders do?
I'm not a symbolist, Harry. I'm a realist. My statue will be Martinez rebuilt. 5-story building complexes, workers on welfare, and landowners in Azon hating me. That will be my statue. And yours. We're doing this together.
That part does sound nice. Except for the whole, we're bullying people out of their homes to do it.
You would look nice as a statue.
Authority. We talked about this. Don't praise me. Joyce was right when she said you were up to something.
Damn right I am, Harry. I'm gonna make the working man as rich as she is one day. That's my job. Just like yours is to keep the peace.
Mm-hmm. The job of the police is to keep the peace. Can I get my gun now?
Harry, I've got to be honest with you. Your gun was found 2 days ago. Withholding this information weighed heavily on me, but it had to be done.
You bastard.
Your gun is with an old woman. I hear she's a character, so watch out.
He says, absolutely unperturbed by your outburst.
This must be the woman who bought the gun from Roy. The one he described as terrifying.
So the gun's still with the woman who bought it from Roy.
Yes, the same one. I see you've done your research. The pawn shop made the gun easy to track. Crazy stuff, Harry. Selling your gun like that? Wild. Anyway.
He smiles and shakes his head in wonderment.
Union Boy's gonna help you fix it. He winks at you. Don't worry, Harry.
I'm a bit worried, Harry.
The neighbors of this old woman contacted my men because they trust me and the Debardeurs Union. Apparently, she was waving it around at the entrance to her building.
She's just waving it around at people? Who would do such a thing?
As I said, she's a character. I didn't have time for details. It sounds like she's unstable, but don't worry. No one got hurt.
We might be looking at someone with a medical history here. Watch out.
Why are you speaking up there, Encyclopedia? Who is this old woman?
Unfortunately, I don't know anymore. You're gonna have to go in blind, Harry. But she's an old lady. How dangerous can she possibly be? Oh, and she calls herself the Pigs.
Wouldn't it be a wild twist every time someone mentions the pigs that they're actually talking about this woman and not the cops?
There it is again. The pigs. Like Roy said, not good at all.
I, for one, find it refreshing. Finally, someone calls themselves a pig.
A smile flickers in the corner of his mouth.
It actually sounds extremely bad, but let's not give him the satisfaction.
Can you set up a meeting?
I already have. Tonight, starting 10 o'clock, near the old fish market on the coast. The one on the boardwalk, a little past the fishing village. Be careful, Harry. I would never set you up for anything dangerous, but you did ask for this. Now, back to the fun stuff.
Alright, mark that down for later.
She will be there from 2200 hours till 0200 hours.
Anytime.
More fun stuff. Seems like we already have fun stuff to do.
Well, Kim, you can be there to back us up. How are you going to fund your new independent harbor? With your coup d'etat. I had to mark out the words there in my head.
Oh, you mean what sort of goods are going to be flowing through?
Drugs?
How am I going to replace all the contacts we'll lose once the poo-poo hits the fan? The clients
Drugs?
will ditch us. Harry, we've thought of everything.
Drugs?
Clients would take a well-known multinational conglomerate over a local mobster any day.
Clients will leave en masse.
Sure, some will go, but mark my words. The company will be unpleasantly surprised to see how many of them stay loyal to Martinez and to the new competitive contracts we can offer.
Competitive, huh? How are you planning to compete? Is this going to be sweatshops?
With renewed zeal sparked by communal ownership, the men will be shipping those containers double time. You'll be surprised to see how fast things go without parasites latching on. We'll have our hands free to pursue bold, exotic new revenue streams.
Ah, slave labor. I understand now.
That's drugs.
That's... Woo, drugs.
Drug trafficking.
Drug trafficking? Don't be stupid, Mr. Kitsuragi. There are perfectly legal, 100% ethical chemical factories on the Samaran Isola. You don't need to be colonialist about it.
So it's only legal in another country, you're saying?
All they do is produce components to keep the pharmaceutical industry running. That's people's health we're talking about. Old grannies, little babes, people with disabilities.
The voice acting in this game is very good at establishing character immediately. Crimson, I agree. Just sounds so slimy. That's just the top of the iceberg, though, isn't it? So, yeah, you'll be surprised to find that Big Pharma is in on the drug trade.
The company thinks transporting these chemicals in bulk looks bad, has bad optics, may be illegal in some countries. The Debarders Union, however, we're all about the large volume column.
Mm-hmm. In bulk shipping, large volume column is a major buyer, a shark.
We're gonna transport the living daylights out of those materials, Harry. So your sick kid can get his benefit, and your wacky uncle doesn't have to come off risperidone.
We're gonna traffic so many drugs.
Benefed is a children's cold medicine, usually apricot flavored, and risperidone is used to treat severe
And the kids on the street can get speed and pyrrolidone.
Yeah, there's that apricot flavor again.
I'm an old-fashioned guy, Mr. Kitsuragi. I sometimes grab a beer with the boys, but I have no idea about the things you just mentioned.
Naturally.
But if I were to supply ingredients for some sort of rainbow party, I would make sure the Union took a fantastic share, and I'd keep that stuff far away from Martinez.
So there he is just admitting to it. Yeah, we're gonna traffic so many drugs and take a huge cut.
He's basically admitting to it.
No drugs for me? I'll report this. I have to admit, that's a well put together plan, and far removed from you. Well, that's guys, did you know there's a drug problem in the city?
Yes, of course. And while you're doing that, please go ahead and also tell the Wild Pines. I want to hear them squeal from the indignity.
The sheer indignity of it all. Just look around shocked. Guys, there's speed on the streets.
Anyway, let's not focus on the sensationalism of the drug trade. This hypothetical drug trade is all anyone ever seems to be interested in. It would only be a small part of the harbor's turnover, just like the harbor is, but a small part of Martinez.
It would still be illegal. Alright. Can we get a straight yes or no answer from this person? I'm also tempted to just say nothing.
Let's look at the big picture.
No,
Martinez as a whole. There are little girls out there with dreams of making music. Young mothers who want to start businesses. Models who want to walk catwalks, and steel welders who want to weld steel.
Or are you also kickstarting the pornography industry?
I'm gonna unite them all into one economic body. We're gonna incorporate this place to Kingdom Come. Everyone's gonna be in on the wealth, and everyone's gonna pull their weight.
I like it. I'm a money guy. That's very ambitious. I love what you're doing for the working man. I'm not feeling the whole Revocol thing here. Not enough flags or kings. Yeah. You can't be... there's the difficulty of you can't be for communism and against this guy. Let's just offer a differing opinion. There's not enough Revocol here.
Harry, the future I have in store for Martinez will have all the macho aesthetics you love so much. The crowns, the guns. I will even slip in a skull and bones for you, my friend.
The cocaine skull? The cocaine skull?
Oh yeah, skull and bones. Skull and bones on a Revacholian flag. The Revacholian Death Squad. Oh yeah, the visual image has completely bedazzled you. You're 100% with Everard now.
No, I'm not. Shut up. Can I ask you about specific union members?
we're way past specific union members now. This is the big time. We're talking about the future of Revachol here, Harry.
Alright. Revachol CH, not Revachol with a K.
You can bother Leonard with that. He loves to run his mouth on such matters. But I'm in big-time mode, Harry.
Oh, well, I will go ask Easy Leo about those things then.
Great, Harry, great. I think we have truly built a bridge between Martinez and Jamrock today. We have united the RCM and the Debarders Union.
Have you considered investing in infrastructure to build a literal bridge? Suddenly, there's sadness in his tone.
This has been so great. I'm sorry we don't have more fun things to do together, but if you ever feel like bouncing something off me, my door is always open.
Oh, there's a whole bunch of you. We're back to this with a whole bunch of stuff. That was all just from the one prompt. Gonna try to exhaust these ones. Just make sure there's nothing here.
I'm always happy to educate and entertain you, my friend. So, what's on your mind?
One sec. I think we can go back and ask.
Clients would take a well-known
Sure, with renewed...
That's
drug traffic.
All they do is produce components to keep the pharmaceutical industry running. That's the company...
In bulk
We're gonna
benefit.
And the kid...
I'm an all... But if...
He's basically admitting to it.
Yes, anyway, let's not focus on the
So is there a drug trade
sensationalism
or
of the
not?
drug. Let's look at the big picture. Martinez as a whole. There are little girls out there with
I am
dreams
not
of
going to get a
making
straight
music.
answer out of this guy.
Yes, if Harry... Well,
So the village...
you were there. Reset. Harry, enough is enough. We're taking this district back. The war was 50 years ago, and I knew you were one...
There is true indignation in his voice when he speaks about the...
Oh, I do, Harry. I really do. I'm gonna make the working man as rich as Joyce Messier with that boat of yours. That's my job. Just like yours is to keep the peace. Very nice, Harry. Is there anything else?
Okay. Right. A few more questions about the harbor, and that's all those options. Can we go over the murder again?
Most by now, I'm sure you figured out who the dead man was working for. The bad guys. Wild Pine. Harry, this strike is the...
You mean our victim?
We've been down this road before.
A security contract. I'm told everything they did there, they brought over here. No, you have. Now, I haven't personally witnessed the brutalities out there. But enough about... One of them got downright...
By negotiator, you mean Joyce?
Harry, we got grit, Harry. This whole... There's a militant wing.
That sounds a bit...
They're like...
Again.
So the...
Aren't you what?
Oh, I'm not a...
If he's just boasting, then it should... He places a lot of faith in that lawyer girl. Perhaps this is a tactical error. Anyway.
Okay. Hey, we have a new option. There was a bullet in the hanged man's head.
So they shot him?
He sounds pleasantly surprised.
He was shot in the head before he was hanged.
How odd. I don't know what to say, Lieutenant. They told me they hanged him. A hanged man is what I saw when I took a look into that yard.
It's impossible to say if he's telling the truth, sire.
What I do know is, the case is in safe hands. If anyone can get to the bottom of this shot and hanged man, by all means, Harry, what's on your mind?
We've exhausted those options. I'm looking into your shady brew.
I don't know what that means, Harry. Shady brew? There are so many moving parts in my operation, I can't keep track of them all.
The borscht for Leo.
You know what? Don't even tell me. Whatever it is, do it. Surprise me. Just one thing. If you can, make it even shadier.
This man's unflappable. He's so giddy about being a mob boss.
He sincerely has no idea what you were talking about. And he doesn't care either.
Remember the container I asked you about? Turns out there's a mega rich lightbending guy inside.
Mega rich lightbending guy? Oh my god. How did that get in there?
Not what is that? How did that get in there? He's so rich he could get in anywhere. Doesn't need to make sense, he's rich. A rich wizard did it.
Damn it to hell, Harry. I specifically told my guys to check all the containers for mega-rich light-bending guys.
Specifically. Explicitly, it's on the list for easy Leo to remember easily in big capital letters. Check for mega-rich light-bending guys. Kim told me he was there.
There was a guy in the container, but he didn't bend any light. That was in the detective's head.
Hey, but the guy in my head told me it was a real thing.
Honestly, guys, we might be moving a spot of drugs through this harbor, but I won't be caught transporting the light-bending mega-rich. I have a reputation to protect.
A spot of drugs. Just a little of drug trade trafficking as a treat. Yes, for God's sakes, you're a socialist.
You're right, Harry. I am a socialist. I'm going to catch the mega-rich guy inside the container and harvest his energy to power the harbor's fog lights.
The light-bending part of the energy, I hope?
I shudder to think what you're going to tell me next, Harry.
Not for 1 second did he believe there's an actual mega-rich person somewhere in his container town.
No, Megan, this is the union leader. This guy is the mega communist with the lazy eye. I'm looking for a cell of underground communists. Can you help me?
Mr. Dubois, really? Do I look like a man who has time for underground communists? I'm as above ground as it gets.
Oh, missing a voice line. There's a non sequitur if you've... That's a non sequitur if you've ever heard one. Let's drop the funny stuff. I'm trying to make contact with my revolutionary brethren.
Sure thing, Harry. We're all business now. The answer is still no. I'm a busy man, as you can see. I don't block off time on my schedule for underground types.
That note of contempt in his voice is sincere, sire.
Also, welcome Megan. Glad you can make it. We're just doing some investigating now. We're probably going to do some plot after we finish this discussion.
You've already
we have
spoken
a
with
mixtape
Manana,
to
as I
listen to.
understand. I'm afraid I don't have anything else for you on this subject.
That's all you're gonna get out of him.
Now, was there anything else you wish to discuss today?
Alright. See you later.
Wow. So someone's been a little boring.
What?
Yes, my standard liege. Someone's seen all sorts of wild ideas pop off and thought, I'll take the boring one. The regular, please. The brown.
I like brown.
Of course you do. And maybe some black shoes or a pristine white shirt to go with that. It's official. My lord's copper type is regular cop. I'll let everyone know. I'll send out a telefax.
How dare you? Wait, what? This will be my capo type now?
Yes, the type of cop you are, sire. Think of it as a caste, a class even, a nation of regular law officials that you belong to. It comes, of course, with the usual benefits.
I think there's at least... the fact that it took until day 4 in-game for me to get this thought, I can take some solace in that.
Done and done.
Regular
no
law
actual
official.
communiques will be sent, of course. That would be too dramatic.
Okay, so it looks like you've got a bit of the normal in you, a touch of the regular. 4 grams of Johnny Normal Cop. Who would have thunk it? You, the extremist of all cops. You said some pretty boring things back there, and now you have 2 choices. You can either leave it behind and forget about it, or you can try to utilize your normalcy, internalize it. Get a touch of vanilla back in the herring-flavored egg and licorice ice cream of your mind. No, I don't think I will. That's done. Okay, I think those were the pressing ideas. And I think now it's time for plot. Don't mind me, Leo. I'm just gonna blast my mixtape. A tape you found in the shack on the coast. The A-side has the smallest church in Saint-Cyans written on it, while the B-side is supposed to contain the instrumental version. Requires a boombox to play. Alright, now I have to... There's my cigarettes. Equip the boombox. Yeah.
The porter reel is just what you needed. The reels attached to the apparatus with a satisfying click. The tape is routed behind the magnetic reader.
Press play.
You press the large button marked Commencer, and the tape starts spinning. There's a small delay before the song starts playing.
If you play this game yourself, you might get some different music here, because we've got the Twitch streamer friendly mode turned on, because I think the songs in this game are actual music, actual real songs that would probably get copyright claimed. But at least it's not like we're strumming to air guitar and to complete silence. Press your ear against the speaker.
It sounds like someone's moving in the room, getting comfortable. Then the organ starts playing a simple, melancholic tune, echoing in the hallway. A lone singing voice joins in, telling you about the tiniest church in Cessons, surrounded by even tinier yard. You almost feel the seaside mist on your skin. It's mega sad. Within seconds you know, this is the one, the real shit you've been looking for. The one you trust your room to that Claudia told you about. Perform it.
Yeah. We gotta do the karaoke.
A click, then silence for a bit. Then the tape stops spinning.
Could I sing this for karaoke? I think I could sing this. Scratch that, I'm already crying, and I look dumb and old.
Of course you could sing this. You could take sad to a whole new level with this. And you already know the lyrics since you've listened to it like 1,000,000 times.
Yeah.
Yup, they're all here. All 3 verses.
Yeah.
And the B-side of the tape contains the instrumental version. It's like the world itself is telling you to do it. Only one obstacle stands on your way.
Yeah, we have the karaoke track too. Nothing to stop me now.
Gart, you have to convince Gart to let you sing karaoke in the whirling. After you've won him over, you can express yourself. Let the pain out. Make everyone understand.
Am I gonna have to pay for my room?
The lieutenant looks at you as you remove the tape from the boombox. He doesn't say anything.
Tim, Kim, you got nothing to add there? Alright. Tape the Door Gunner Mega Mix. A magnetic tape acquired from Titus Hardy. It's supposedly holds a recording of the Mercenary Task Force radio communications recorded via a de-encryption station. Not a good omen. Requires a boombox to play.
The porter reel is just what you needed. The reels attach to the apparatus.
Violent static and machine sounds fill the air.
This isn't Revachol. This is a fucking village. I can almost see the elephants.
Ooh. Another loud screech, some kind of machinery. This might peak the headphone users.
The harbor. That's the sound of a Kvalson crane.
This is a fucking village.
When this shit is done, I'm gonna tear that place up. Soldier of the Apocalypse style. Kill shit. Dogs and chickens too. Gonna run a room, Cordy. A real nice room. I don't give a shit. I'm fucking done. I'm done mentally.
Which one's Cordy? Did we have that?
I'll fucking do them all in. Rape that disco
Wow,
cunt on the counter.
no, we're not
You
gonna
know,
talk that.
The dance a whore upstairs. Do it Kohoi style.
Yeah, we're gonna move on from that.
Never did get that taste out of my mouth.
Well, so they claim he was going to.
The lieutenant presses the button marked Arete on your portal-reel. The tape stops spinning.
I click then silence, the rest of the tape is empty. What's that at the very end? Silence? So is this where the Hardy Boys got the impression that they were protecting Claudia?
End of recording.
What do you think?
It seemed authentic enough. Probably recorded off the shortwave, then edited to seem more incriminating. He sounded like he was on patrol around the harbor walls.
Yeah, there was some intelligible bits. Maybe that was like cut short, reel to reel. He also sounded inebriated, which I'm the expert on. He did say he was going to do it. You can't edit the words into someone's mouth. Not at this tech level.
Indeed, but...
The lieutenant looks at the tape. You are familiar with this look now. It's his look of suspicion.
There's more going on here than we know.
Which one was Cordy?
Cordy could be short for Cortenard, one of the other mercenaries, the one he was talking to. Probably the mountain at the harbor gates. Mr. Right to Work.
What's Kohoi?
A village on the Samaran Isola, in South Safre. Grad committed war crimes there, the kind of thing he talks about.
Yeah, we heard about that. Boy, did we hear about that.
The South Safre conflict
No, I don't
is
want to
an
hear about
ongoing
that.
proxy war between Grad and Safre. It has been hot for 12 years, with the atrocities piling on, mostly committed by the Grad.
You think he was there?
Who knows? Maybe the tattoos would have an answer. We would need to know the story of this man's service.
A symbol of soldier of the apocalypse style conduct in a civil environment.
Okay then, what now?
I think we've got a few more questions for Claudia, don't you? This seems to contradict her testimony, at least to some degree.
As you take out the tape, the boombox tunes itself back to the cheery radio again, spewing out beats like it's a Friday night. The contrast feels chilly, inappropriate even.
We're all about that inappropriate behavior. Book, a primer for small kids. A textbook for the first grade in primary school. On the cover, a humanoid teddy bear is pushing a wheelbarrow full of letters. He's not doing a good job. The letter S is dangerously dangling from the cart, while the E fell off a long time ago. Children should pay more attention. Okay. Oh yeah, that totally is the false stand. I can see it, the logo on the crane. Okay. So we have some plot to do now. Dr. Magnus, talk to Claudia. there's the radio playing now. We have some beats. So, Gart, I'm going to be singing karaoke tonight. And you don't have a choice in the matter.
Wait. No. Something about this bunch doesn't smell right.
What do you mean? Aren't they Everett's guys?
They are, but they don't seem too keen to talk with you, do they?
No, they don't.
No, they don't. Glenn seems to be contemplating grievous bodily harm while he massages his raw knuckles. In the far back, Eugene is doing his best to ignore you.
I don't think these are my comrades. Meanwhile, Angus keeps shooting you furtive glances and mumbling uneasily to himself.
And from his perch at the end of the table, Titus Hardy himself stares at you with a cold contempt that makes you want to leave the cafeteria straight away. Besides, you're pretty sure they consider themselves social democrats.
Not communists. Alright, well, I guess I'll look elsewhere.
Hey, was there something you needed?
Well, well. Bringing him that new bird sure made a difference in his attitude.
Gart, I need to sing karaoke now.
No, you don't. It's not happening.
I need to.
You need to approach this situation logically. Ask him why he has the PA system installed if you can't use it.
Sure, let's try to argue this. Why do you have a PA?
It's for no one. It's a prop. I'm not letting anyone use it after the great karaoke catastrophe of 44.
He begins confidently, then stumbles on his own words. It's not a prop, it's for your clients. I know it's used. What happened in 44?
A lot of people got killed because some arsehole wanted to sing karaoke.
It's not a prop.
Okay, yes, it's for some clients.
He admits reluctantly. I'm a real client. I've paid my bills and I have the right to use the karaoke machine.
Ha! Well, we don't have any tapes. They all got stolen.
He comes up with a counter-argument. That's alright, I have my own song with me.
The man in the vest and the violet shirt stares at the tape you've just given him. He begins to frown. Hard. This is the look of a man who's defeated. He knows he's out of excuses.
Yeah.
Fine. Climb on that stage and do your thing. Just get out of my hair. I'll plug it in for you. Damn this karaoke machine.
He shakes the tape at you.
I'm having it uninstalled, he mumbles to himself. Oh yeah, time to do the damage.
About my bill for no. Well, we're not paying, so. Can I get another response?
Got the 20 real?
Not yet.
Then why are you wasting?
I don't want to sing it right this minute at 10 in the morning, but let's see if we can.
The stage is all set up for your performance. Feels silent. You can hear the pellets creak under your feet. You feel a little dizzy, a little unsteady suddenly.
So, are you ready for your thing now? Let me know when I should turn on the karaoke carousel.
Drama for Mabel. Alright, leave. Okay, so we can do that anytime. I remember you from last night. We met your Sunday friend.
Another rendezvous.
Hello. Just retired.
Hello, hello. So what brings you here?
Oh wow, our composure is in the pits. What are you doing here?
Admiring the atmosphere. What about you, officer?
This is where I'm going to go down in history. I'm going to sing karaoke.
Really? Well, I look forward to that.
He raises a glass to you. Tell me about that muscular type who came to investigate the crime.
Oh yes, let's see. He knocked on my door a few days after the lynching. I think he was going through the entire building, asking questions.
And what did you tell him?
Nothing. That I didn't see anything.
Did you tell him about any beliefs you?
Why shouldn't he?
Tell him about your friend?
What friend?
He takes another drag of his cigarette before knitting his brows.
No, I don't think it came up.
What did he look like?
Muscular, handsome, strong, like one of those military types.
Was he alone?
Yes, but he was speaking to someone on his earpiece. Yes, you know those tiny speaker microphones that fancy security guards sometimes wear.
What was he wearing?
Just reporting back whatever I was telling him.
Besides muscular, is there any way to identify this guy?
Oh, let me think. He had an accent. He sounded like one of those mercenaries. He sounded vaguely Oranese. No, not vaguely, scratch that. He sounded definitely Oranese.
Okay. That's something we can work with.
Sure. Anything else on your mind?
I met your Sunday friend.
You did? And how did you like him?
I didn't like him as much as I like you.
Ah, shoot. Why not?
He bursts out laughing. Who is he?
A visitor from the first world. He's not like you and me, gendarme. He can always return. To his opportunities in Occident, sur la clé. Still, his coming and going brings some life to the village. Or is it just money? I don't know.
He stares at the bar. What are you two?
Friends, I told you. Sunday friends. Friends who like to get together from time to time.
What does it mean, a Sunday friend? Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Say no more, say no more.
That he won't be there when times get tough, I guess.
Is that even a friend?
It is. On Sundays.
Why was he staying at your place in the middle of the night? Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Say no more, say no more.
He has keys. And he likes the view. To the sea, I mean.
I don't want to talk about other people. I want to talk about you.
Hmm? What about me, gendarme?
Well, we didn't get any bonuses to that.
Bye-bye, gendarme.
Composure checks. Get these gosh darn boots off. Yes, this makes me extra composed. A little windbreaker. That looks like it's made of shopping bag plastic. Oop. Extra composure there. Nice composure. Okay. Let's put that on tape. Okay.
Hi again, gendarme.
How's it looking now? Well, this'll be fun.
It's the sports. He's a sports guy. All about that physical prowess and athletic skill. Nothing else here.
What is it about this, the way this man carries himself?
Bye-bye, gendarme.
Yeah, lots of stuff going on. Let's check in with our buddy who's
Again?
not our...
I can't believe this shit.
talk about the hypothetical 41st again. Never mind.
Neither can I. It's a mere second, but it feels like you
Let's talk
saw
about
something.
the hangman again.
Okay, why not? Let's do the old thing over again. We're not wasting time.
Okay.
There is no time.
Okay, I'm doing this investigation, and it turns out the guy was shot and hanged.
You think he was hanged as a cover-up? To hide the shooting?
Basically, yes.
Okay, well...
He corrects his blonde wig. I mean his hair. He corrects his hair. Why am I telling you this?
I don't know. Why are you?
It's like you felt it would be intellectually stimulating and would lead somewhere. A custom even? Strange. Who knows why we do the things we do? Somehow, bouncing those ideas off the man with sunglasses felt calming. Like you've done it before.
Oh my god, there's more.
No,
you want
there's
something
not.
more?
There's not more. Okay, that sounds good. I want to get those art clothes back on. With my sugars. Don't need to thank the authority, but yep, those clothes are good. Shoes are good. I'm actually canceling out a lot of stats, aren't I? With the clothes I'm wearing. I may as well be naked. Yeah, maybe I'll just do this straight. That's logic. Okay. You got some questions for Claudia now. Oh, okay, taking the...
Hello, officer. What brings you up here again?
Actually, I'm going to put the boombox away.
Hello, officer. What brings you up here again?
Exhaust this option.
Not my favorite topic, but okay.
Oh, there we go. Why was there a bullet in his head?
Bullet? They shot him too?
There's a silence. Her brow meets in the middle. Her brows meet in the middle for a pained frown.
I'm not picking up on any theatre craft here, sir. The pause is sincere.
They stripped his clothes and they shot him?
You mean after they hanged him?
I'm confused, sorry.
So am I. Were you aware that he had also been shot, miss?
Things are starting to go a little over my head here. I thought he was hanged. I was not present when they did it. I don't know what happened. I just know what they told me. And Sylvie, the bartender.
We should talk to Sylvie again.
This is beginning to get confusing for you too, and we don't like that. Where was she last Sunday night?
Where were you when this happened? Last Sunday night. I know where you were this Sunday. Because I was there. Making a lot of noise, and you were witness to that.
Cowering. I was cowering downstairs with Sylvie.
Okay.
How about we, change the subject to something more lighthearted now?
Ooh, we unlocked that check. Slight confusion about the bullet. And the standard anti-world die. No, I'm afraid we can't go to something lighthearted, because we're going to talk about the rape again. Titus Hardy gave us a recording where the deceased states his intention to commit rape.
She puts her coffee cup down with a soft ring as the porcelain meets the metal table. This does not surprise her.
Did he? I never said he was a good man, or that he had good intentions. Only that he was never bad to me.
A smile flits across her face.
She doesn't care. If anything, she sounds amused.
On this tape, he specifically identifies you as the target.
Where did they get this recording exactly?
It's intercepted radio chatter of the deceased, recorded via a de-encryption station. It's authentic enough.
Is she gonna be convinced by that?
Does he say he's gonna do it Soldier of the Apocalypse style?
Those were the exact words he used.
Yeah. That was practically his pickup line.
She picks the coffee back up. This is an amusing lie, if it's a lie.
Did he say whores a lot? Was he pretty much on the verge of doing it Kohoi style?
Koi Hoi was mentioned.
He wasn't actually there. He didn't do a tour, or at least didn't tell me he did. Would have been overkill anyway. He lived his own little Kohoi. It wasn't his everything.
Why say things like that? Machismo?
Yes, was he bragging?
Even Kim's confused.
Oh no, I'm pretty sure he did all those things. Then integrated them into his idea of normalcy. To keep on living. Until they just sort of turn into his, what's the word I'm looking for?
Internalized thoughts.
She's quite observant about the human character. Trained to observe, even.
Coping mechanism, catchphrase, persona? Did you learn this from studying Orny's Lit? I think we want persona here.
Running joke. I was gonna say running
Persona.
joke. And it sounds like you didn't even get the good bits. Lely's punchlines got way, way funkier than that.
Lely is his name now, huh?
He was like the Seminoles conflict, the Kohoi massacre, and the 36 famine in Yezut all rolled into one person, then cast in Orani ceramic armor, which he wore in bed and in the shower.
The armor stays on.
When he said he was done, and done mentally, it didn't sound like a joke. Sounded like a deeply troubled man.
Hold on, he said he was mentally done. Sounds like a broken man to me.
Well, maybe I pieced him back together with my magical personality.
Oh, please don't say, I can fix him. You like this? You like this kind of stuff? You into bad boys like that?
We're all scraping up any
Damaged
happiness
men?
we can find, officer. Going around with our little scouring sticks. You, your first love, Mr. Kohoi here.
Did he tell you he had actually done any of those things? He and Martinez, I mean?
No. We were too busy laying waste to our own nervous systems to direct any of the fury outward. He seemed happy, I guess. At ease. As much as a man like him could be.
There is a small measure of pride in her that she could quell the rage in such a being.
Oh god. She really is just like, I can fix him.
What kind of man was he? Before you go, ask for details. She seems okay to talk about it.
Thank you for clearing that up, miss. Whenever you're
Right, we
ready.
were supposed to follow
I'm
up
interested
with her
to hear what
on
Titus Hardy has
some
to say
details.
She takes a very small sip of her coffee and smiles.
Now that you've had some time, can you tell us more about the victim?
now. Like, for example, his name?
Actually, officer, I didn't know his name. I just called him Lely.
Okay, so his name's not Lily, but that's what we can call him then.
A nickname?
I guess. He came from Lelystad. It's short for that. And it was his army name, apparently. He said his real name wasn't his. I tried to pry it out of him, but it was no use.
Okay. Yeah, his call sign.
Lelystad. That's a good start. We have a few questions you can help us with. A few things a field autopsy alone can't answer.
The young woman cranes her neck, trying to catch a glimpse of the page the lieutenant passed to you. On it is a list of autopsy observations, recorded neatly in blue ink. The last missing pieces of a puzzle of flesh.
Okay, yeah, lots of questions. Where is Lelystad? The place, I mean.
In Oranje, officer. It's, I think municipality is the term. A nowhere town there.
The Lelystad municipality has few boroughs and even fewer cities. It's made of agricultural plots near the border of Gottwald. Executive summary: cows, silos, and wheat.
Farm country, understood.
You were almost right, officer. That means his race was occidental, not mondial. I'll update the form.
Look at Klaus. You were both from Oranje?
Yes. We were compatriots.
Did that bring you together?
Probably not.
No. He was too old for that. And from another part of Oranjenrijk. I didn't even understand his accent. What brought us together wasn't Oranje. It was bad habits.
No love for Muta Oranje? Wasn't he a soldier?
No need to get political. Military man, but not a patriot.
No. He left the National Service after they taught him to do what he did on Seminine. He wasn't the flag-waving kind. He was the making money, killing people kind.
Right, mercenary type. Which is somehow worse than the nationhood type.
He was by no means a stupid man. A people person. A small platoon leader. Certainly not a patriot.
She takes a long drag of her cigarette, then washes it down with coffee. Disgraceful mercenary. The Ornate state should have checked his breast for sublime patriotic rage before they trained him.
Had he passed that test, we wouldn't have gotten along. Come to think of it, maybe it was our hate for Oranje that brought us together.
Not the love,
I
but
love
hate.
Revachol, though.
Oh, that's nice.
I hope she loves me, too.
How old was he, miss?
He was 42.
Hey!
42? Are you sure? I would have had him above 50.
He had many scars that made him appear older. But no,
The memory makes her smile. Hey, we were right.
we even celebrated his birthday, like, some weeks ago. It was a funny 2 days. He had little reason to lie to me.
Looks like you were right, officer.
Give me that hit. Give me that, morale boost. Lieutenant taps on his notebook once, as though assigning some kind of point.
Points are good. Have one, you old dog, before we all die.
Feel good about that. I didn't know this was a competition, Kim.
It isn't. Police work is a cooperative sport.
His eye color?
Blue. Light blue. They were
Green
like
heels.
little blue galaxies, you know? It was strange, seeing those eyes in his fucked up face.
His face is fucked up all the time, or just after he was a corpse?
Pardon the swearing. I do him an injustice. He wasn't ugly. And he had a beautiful, soft voice. Very surprising, what with all the scarring. It was quite something, watching him speak.
He had a combat wound on his chin and mouth?
Yes. Severe. It made him look like half his face was cracking away in some strange smile. That and those eyes.
She seems to enjoy the word severe.
Ah, yes. His hair, if you can remember?
It was light brown, almost blonde. He darkened it with brilliantine, made oily. Not nice to stroke. I couldn't convince him to leave it alone.
Interesting. I too stroked his hair, like a baby.
Oily, isn't it? We have that in common now.
She says, unfazed. She draws on her cigarette and lets the smoke linger a moment in her mouth.
She understands what autopsies entail. It doesn't get her off balance.
Kim, do I get a point for the brilliantine?
No.
Oh. But I put it down there. Point to the red autopsy slip.
Okay, sure. Here you go. Yeah. What else are we missing, officer?
Gamers love points. What's the game question back on track? He had a tattoo. Tell us about the tattoos.
Oh, that.
It's clear she liked it.
You liked it?
Quite a lot, yes.
It was a map of his service history, we think?
Sure. Service history. It was mostly for showing off to chicks, though.
How so?
How? Imagine him lying in bed. Freakish musculature laid out on the sheets. Scarred, of course. Tattooed. The sheets are dirty for some reason.
Yeah, that'll work.
Is this Orani's lit?
Don't interrupt.
He's smoking and drinking, of course. And his chest and shoulders and arms are studded with stars. Tens, hundreds of them. Maybe even thousands. And the woman goes like, "What was this, baby?"
Yep, that's a good move. She points at the air with her sharp-nailed finger, picking out an imaginary tattoo star.
And he says, "That was too hardcore. Don't ask me about that." So she goes, "Okay, but what's this, baby?" And he's like, "Saw some bat shit there. Killed some loincloths." And so it goes. Star after star. Port after port. Third world country after third world country. And he's done horrible things in every single one of them.
Were you the woman in this scenario with the comically high voice?
Oh, yeah.
Can you tell us precisely what those mean?
No, thank you. I've seen enough of him dead. I can tell you what they meant without looking at them.
Go on.
He was a blue-eyed boy with thick arms, from a small town. He was also poor, and the government of Orania needed some people killed, so they turned him into a grotesque killer. For money. He went to Killer Academy in Vredefort. Then he killed some people in the Seminine Islands. And on other islands, too. All of the islands. After this, he came to Revachol and got killed himself.
Good story.
It is when you're high. It can be very exciting then. You have the tools to deal with it. It's not a very nice story to remember when you're sober. A change of topic?
I like how you describe being high as tools to deal with that. Could it be love that did him in?
It very well could be, yes.
How do you mean?
What do I mean? I have no idea. I don't even know what you mean. Love did him in? What does that mean?
I don't know. I had the prompt and I asked the question. He told me. Loved it him in.
That's not funny, officer.
Now, hold on.
Her voice is like a slash through the air. Her shoulders tense up.
Now, hold on. It's not okay for me to have weird hallucinations? We ordered a toxicology report. Any idea what it'll show us?
A real rainbow splattering of pharmaceuticals, I bet. Barbiturates, amphetamine, sildenafil.
Cool.
How much does the toxicology report cost the police of Revachol? I can do it for half of that. Save you some money, make some myself.
You're just gonna do all the drugs in his body.
It's quite expensive, miss. But we'll manage without your help for now.
I think we're finished with this line of questioning.
All right.
The lieutenant puts the slip back in his notes and observes the young woman for a moment.
Coolly, gracefully, she pours herself more coffee.
Let's return to this later.
Wait, stop. That man, bloated beyond all recognition, was 42?
That's what she said.
Below the damage, the weeks of decomposition, all the swollen indignity of morality. He was 42 years old?
Where is this going? I was obviously correct.
How old are you? That's where this is going. 45,000 liters of raw alcohol has left its disfigurements. What lies beneath, you wonder? You could ask either one of them.
I got this. My age, I think I'm... Miss, how old do you think I am?
Huh. How old do I think you are?
She's buying time to formulate the best answer.
I don't know. 1, 2. I don't know what I'm supposed to say. How old is a newborn cop who doesn't remember he's a cop?
I didn't ask how old I was mentally. I think I'm circa 55.
You're not.
He's squinting at you.
Sure he is. You know, age is just a number.
Sure.
Yes, but for him, that number is 56.
Oh, come on, Kim. I thought you were going to go the other direction with that.
Wait. This requires scientific measurements.
Bring it on. I'm not afraid of the truth.
To the laboratorium.
Date of birth generator. See if we can't try that check later.
You can almost see the shape of a man and a woman writhing inside, bathed in drug sweat and dirty linens. Bottles lie around everywhere.
I think I can see into Claudia's bedroom from here.
You can barely see through. Better not to jump to sensationalist conclusions here.
He leans closer to inspect the peephole. There's a peephole.
The footprints on the floor, however, definitely suspicious.
What were these people doing in there?
You lean closer to the peephole instinctively. I bet they're doing something quite unnatural there. Sensationally unnatural.
My favorite quote I've heard in response to age is just a number is, yes, and prison is just a place. Laws aren't real. They can't hurt you. Consequences are imaginary. Ooh, footprints? I investigated these before, didn't I?
You clearly see footprints in the downy...
Jackpot. These, unlike everything else here.
Oh, sure did.
All these mesmerizing machines, just waiting to be plugged back in and played.
Run your finger across the dust of the white Diora machine.
Feels like it might jump back to life any moment, the lights illuminating the white-robed woman.
Wait, what's White Diora?
Some kind of inane pinball theme, probably related to Messina during the DeLorean age. The history themes are the worst.
Diora was one of the 3 crown cities of the DeLorean era, on the Muindi Isola, the others being Ria Silvia and Advesperasket. This theme is all about early airships and beautiful, sad, pearl-laden women. It's quite nice, actually.
Okay, sure. Like a Renaissance period, I guess, then.
The lieutenant grimaces, looking at the machines.
How about we fire up one of these bad boys and play some pinball?
You can't fire them up. They're broken. Only that one machine in the main hall works. The Royalist pinball.
Think, Kim, think.
Kim, Pinball, Kitsuragi.
aka Kimball?
Exactly. That's what he's known as. His reputation precedes him.
Hey, Kimball.
What?
You're Pinball Kitsuragi.
So now he remembers.
He looks at you in the silence of the workshop, then takes his glasses off and cleans them. I didn't see this coming.
Fine, I'm Kim Pinball Kitsuragi, aka the Kimball. You remembered. Congratulations.
You don't seem to really like pinball.
No human being should. It is a game that requires no skill and a childlike affinity to flashing lights and to fantastique, science fiction, and historic romance franchise.
Such as yourself?
It is lame.
We're about to find out that he's that this is a derogatory name, that they're making fun of him.
I am not called Pinball. It was used to taunt me a long time ago, before I became a homicide detective and got my lieutenancy.
Alright, you're about to crash, Crimson. Have a good one? Yeah, Crimson, thanks for coming. I'm probably not going to go much longer myself. I think we'll wrap it up at about 11 here.
Fine.
Not going to
I
go for
was
the
a
long
juvenile
haul.
police officer for over
Good night.
15 years. It's how I started out in the RCM. Once I had to infiltrate a pinball ring, as you do when you're a juvie cop.
Before I became a homicide, before I got my lieutenancy. How did you? So he infiltrated a pinball ring by being a pinball wizard. Okay.
It was not okay. I needed to become a pinball champion. I trained for 9 months. The job was successful and I was moved out of the juvenile ring to homicide.
Fantastic.
End of story.
Hold on, you were a juvie cop for 15 years?
That time is over now. I was already a 38-year-old man. It was unbecoming, as was playing pinball.
I was a juvenile police officer for 15 years. From ages 23 to 38. Jesus.
So that's why he doesn't want to talk to Kuno. Trauma and stressor disorder from being a juvie cop.
It's best if you handle the juvenile delinquents.
Don't worry, I'll keep calling you Kim.
Lieutenant Kitsuragi is good too. Now, we really need to continue our sweep of what appears to be a secret path through the whirling.
Nice and open door.
The man ponders his cooking utensils and gives you a little nod, acknowledging your presence.
What's in the borscht you're making there?
The man says a couple of sentences in that strange language of his and then seems to wait for you to speak. I'm pretty sure he asked you a question. He doesn't know your language. You can just say something cool in return.
Sure. Mercury rising. Run your fingers through your hair.
Horse need more vodka?
Ooh, we understood that part. He picks up a bottle from the shelf.
Okay, so it's vodka that keeps the men happy and in good spirits. Clever move by the Union.
Mm-hmm. Keep him boozed up.
Vodka borscht! I love it, Bratan! Turn it the fuck up and then ask for some yourself.
Turn it the fuck up.
Turning it up seems like a dangerous idea, honestly. The place is a powder keg.
Turn it the fuck up.
He smiles, nodding vigorously, then pours half a bottle of vodka into the pot. With a whistle, he stirs the brew.
Can I have some of that brew myself?
He smiles and nods enthusiastically, and, chattering away in his language, ladles some brew into a small thermal cup, then hands it to you.
Alright, we got some Al Ghul. You said you were friends with Manana, is that true?
The mention of Manana gets his attention. He smiles and delivers a whole slew of unfamiliar words and lively gestures. Then he falls silent again. They're friends?
Sounds good to me. Now let's leave. What else do I want to do today? Anything new from you?
Yes? What is it?
No. Lena, we found your husband.
Oh, hello, dear. There you are again.
Ran into your husband on the coast.
Goodness, how is he? Did he say why he hasn't returned yet?
The old woman clasped her hands together over her blanket.
He's fine, ma'am. As we had suspected, he couldn't get back earlier because the water lock on the canal was broken. Now he's just finishing up some work.
He should have been back by now, though.
Oh, yes. That's my Morel. He's bound to catch a cold staying out there for so long. But I am so relieved to hear that he's okay. Thank you for putting an old woman's heart at ease, if even a little.
Oh. I'm glad we got to do some good, because we have some bad news about another husband.
You haven't, however. There are dangers out there. Our aging body's foul. Her heart won't rest until Morel is safely back with her.
Mm-hmm. You never told me you've seen the Phasmid.
Oh, you don't want to hear about some old woman's ramblings.
Oh no, I really want to know.
Reflexively, the lieutenant readies his familiar notebook.
Well, it was summer. I was building a racing track out of sand on the beach near a tall stand of reeds. Quite a tall one. Many times my height, I remember. When, all of a sudden...
Wait, where and when was this?
I'm getting ahead of myself. I was 5.5 in Betancourt in the suburbs. My grandmother had a summer home there.
Okay, way long ago.
She'd just started forming memories. Real memories. Not the billowy haze of infanthood.
Okay. So some of the earliest memories.
Betancourt got bombed in the war. It used to be quite near, circa 20 kilometers from here.
That can't be a fun story.
The strangest moment of my life. I looked up and one of the reeds moved. Not like a plant, but like a living thing. It stood up and looked at me. Its body unfolded like some antique toy. I've never seen anything like it. I didn't know this can happen, so I reached my arm and touched the thing. It felt just like a stalk of reed, but it moved, swaying, towering above me. After a while, 20 seconds, a minute maybe, it left, went into the reeds.
Did you follow it?
I tried, but I was only a child. There was mud and high water. I couldn't see it anymore. I was just standing there knee-deep in mud, looking around me.
Where did you go? Don't go.
Then what?
I ran back home to my grandmother and asked her if reeds could walk, and told her they were looking at me. Of course, she just laughed at me, but I knew what I'd seen. For years, it was a story I told at parties when I wanted to impress boys. That sort of thing.
Nice.
Of course, Most people just took it as a strange, amusing anecdote. So did I, honestly. But then I met Morel.
Through a dating website, so you were trying to impress him like you do.
We were on our first date when I told him my story. You should have seen his face. He said my descriptions matched the phasmid down to a T. Its white marble limbs, the way it moved.
I'm sure it matched the description that he was making up on the fly.
So that's how they met. This is beyond significant for them.
Yeah, let's just go through the list. You were on a date?
Our first. Yes.
The sigh is tender. The sigh is tender, yes, but tempered by something else. A thought she can't express. Interesting.
Its limbs were white?
Not all of them, as far as I remember. Some of them on the inside like stalks of marble, if that makes sense.
How big was it?
It's hard to say how big things are when you're quite small yourself. To me, it seemed to be taller than I was then, but that's probably not the case.
Maybe you imagined it?
Of course. I've thought about it. But Morel says my report matches with the others. And I'm sure I hadn't heard of the phasmid as a child. Nor had my mother or my grandmother. So how did I know what to imagine? It was only when I started telling my story as a teenager that boys would tell me, Lena,
She lowers her voice, imitating a boy.
you trying to tell us you saw the Insulindian phasmid out there in those reeds? Get out of here. They just give me a cider and ruffle my hair and tell me to stop dreaming. But I saw it.
Kim, what do you make of this?
I thought it was a wonderful story, man.
He closes his notes and gives her a simple smile.
But I don't believe it. A child left unattended on a warm day. Children make up stories and then end up believing them.
Thank you for sharing this with me.
You're welcome, sweetie. I do appreciate the chance to relive it whenever I get one. It was just such an impossibly sunshiny day. So warm.
And she could get up and walk right into the reeds on her own. Into the mud. Anywhere.
That's all for now, ma'am. Yep. A nice chat with our racist grandma. Alright. I think we'll save there. Call it a stream. Man. Let's, there we go. Look at that beautiful art. And those delicious memes. Okay. Yeah, thanks for coming, everyone that stopped by. We had a whole host of people stop in, so thank you for that. What do we have on the docket? I think it's Amon tomorrow. He wasn't quite done with Later Alligator, and I think he was saving some parts of town. My favorite is still coming up, and I think he'll probably get to it tomorrow. That's gonna be real fun. And then Megan would be back this week with Fire Emblem 3 Houses. More fun on where were we when we left off? Probably still a few chapters away from finishing out the year, but close to it. And then it's Lilac and Andrew on this week. So Jet's off. And then our regular episode of the podcast. And then some more stuff from Brutes on the weekend. Yeah. So good things. Good things. I'm glad we got a little bit of plot in today. And chase down some white checks. We need to get caught up on some other stuff. What is there to do today? Proton John, or I was gonna say Proton John, but Chris George. We were going to try to raid him the other night. and then he ended up offline. So let's do that now. Yep. Thanks for coming, everyone. We're gonna send you off to say hi to Chris George, Mr. Main Character from the Demi-chan interviews with Monster Girls. Just admiring some of that art as it goes by. All right, off we go. See you next week, everyone.